everyone! Welcome to Nature Check's Arda Campaign, the show where you come for the game and stay for the science. Hi, I'm Sheryl, my pronouns are she, her, and I'm the Dungeon Master for the Arda Campaign. I'm also a PhD candidate studying ecology at the University of Illinois at Chicago, and when I'm not doing research, I'm a science communicator and the host of the Roving Naturalist on YouTube. Then we got Ryan.
Hello, I'm Ryan. I'm an entomologist in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. I do entomology and plant healthcare in medical marijuana at a grow facility. And in our campaign, I play Fletcher, the human wizard, and we both use he, him, his pronouns.
Then there's Nancy.
Hi everyone, my name is Nancy. I'm an entomologist, which means that I study bugs, and I live in Ecuador, where normally I'm doing bug tours, but obviously that isn't happening in the pandemic. So I'm working on my YouTube channel. I'm giving actually a workshop in Spanish next week for 5 days in the Amazon. So, you know, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. I play a roguish young woman. Her name is Kay, and we use she, her pronouns.
Still going with that, huh? All right, and then we've got Peter. Sorry.
Right as I decided, I'm gonna taste this tea.
How's your meal this evening, sir?
My name's Peter. I am an agriculture scientist at North Carolina A&T University. My background is in entomology, and I take pictures of tiny things, mostly bugs.
All right. And then there's Cindy.
Hey, I'm Cindy, she, her. I'm a science enthusiast. I play an Andorian engineer over on Heroes of Awesome Constellation on the Weirdlings Twitch and YouTube channels. Here, I am playing Nautia, the water method druid, and Sheryl is dancing and making me laugh more.
You were saying it in such a rhythmic way. I was like, ooh. We are in a mood tonight.
We are. It's gonna be great.
Oh man, it's been a while. Hi everybody, we're back. If you're watching us live right now, it's nice to see you all. We missed you. We're glad you're here. Thank you for being here. As always, if you have questions for the cast, you know what to do. Stick them in the chat and we'll respond either via text or bring it up in the game if it's a good science question. And of course, be sure to check the reference section down below for the social media handles for the entire Nature Check cast. And you can also come hang out with us on our Discord. There's a link to that down there as well. Don't forget, if you're not able to watch us live or you want to share us with your friends, you can, as always, find the sessions for our TTRPG games in video form on our YouTube channel and in podcast form everywhere. Sorry, I was getting a little froggy there. All right, let us get into the game. The few hours you've spent in the desert temple have felt like days. You entered only to discover a living temple guardian, a Scorpionfolk named Rashidon. He took an immediate interest in Kay and urged your group to go through a series of trials in order for her to learn something about herself. Through the western door, you encountered 4 rooms of pressurized water puzzles, through which you had to carry a giant hourglass filled with magical sand. Through the eastern door, you traversed 5 wind puzzle rooms with some creative movement of the magic sand. Once both sides of the temple puzzles were completed, the strange blue force field was deactivated, and you were able to enter the ritual chamber. You filled the offering troughs with sand and performed the ritual for a 3rd time, but were frustrated to not immediately receive any sort of answer. However, after some very careful searching, Kay was finally able to spot celestial writing carefully hidden in the carvings of the chamber ceiling. The writing confirmed Rashidon's identification of Kay's heritage and gave you all some more clues to the larger puzzle of the temples you've been finding. It is now early evening on Cordum, the 6th day of Brightrun. You have just exited the desert temple and are standing on the stone steps, face to face with a trio of young Scorpionfolk.
Well, hello.
So you see a very young female Scorpionfolk, and then also, and then also 2 young men, but they look like like adults. The young woman looks very young, like still maybe a child. And I think I described last time, she has a basket over one of her human arms. And it looks like she was bringing some sort of provisions or something to the temple. So that is what you see.
What you got there?
Oh, hello. I'm bringing some food to my father because it's evening. I haven't seen people here before. And she sort of like was really friendly and excited, and then is like realizing just how strange all of you are to her. And like,
yeah, your dad is awesome, by the way. We just had some good times with him.
Oh, I'm glad you like him. He is wonderful. This is his job, and so yeah, I had to bring him food because he has to stay here and protect the temple. But I'm glad you like him.
Does he always stay here?
No.
Like 24/7?
No.
He said he goes back to the house sometimes.
I mean, yeah, he comes back to the village sometimes, but you know, I figured he could use a snack.
Definitely. Cedric here already fed him a little bit, but she like gestures to Cedric.
Yep, I make jerky. I've got more if you want some.
Oh, that sounds interesting. But I'm gonna go in and talk to him. But I mean, you guys don't want to come in, do you? And the two young men are kind of like, so they're gonna stay out here on the steps. But she is gonna go in to hang out with Rashidon. But yeah, so you're left with these two sort of young men, Scorpionfolk. They've got weapons on them, but they appear like, as you look at them, more like weapons that would be used for hunting than weapons that are for, like, combat, if that makes sense.
As she goes into the temple, Cedric calls out, like, nice to meet you!
You too!
Are the Scorpionfolk carrying atlatls?
No. That's a Thrycreen specialty.
Well, we've got cooler weapons than them, then. Hi, I'm Cedric.
Hi. And one of them sort of waves a hand. I'm Halimadon. This is Afzaladon.
That's spelling.
Yeah. I don't know if you've picked up on all of the names yet, but they have a commonality on their endings that is...
I just noticed.
It's an indication of the clan.
Oh, okay. In my very bad, my bad handwriting, the Don looks like a C and an L together because I don't connect my D's, so it looks like clan in my handwriting. So.
Amazing.
Yeah, going back through my notes from the last time, like, oh, I spelled that 4 different ways.
Yeah, so Halimidon and Afzaladon, and he says, and your Cedric is your name, right?
Yes. It's Cedric. Yes, that is my name. You can call me Cedric.
Okay. So you all were in the temple?
Yes.
Yes.
We have conquered the temple.
Oh, interesting. We didn't think people had business there very often.
We are very special people. In fact, actually, this lady right here, she's very special.
I think.
Well, it's very nice to meet you. We haven't, I don't mean to be rude, but you're very, different looking than the desert peoples. So you must have come a long way to get to this temple, yes?
Yeah.
It's been like 2 years.
We are not from around here.
No, yeah, I gathered that.
My forehead isn't normally quite this red and peely.
And peely. Oh, yeah, I guess the sun would do that if you weren't used to it. Do you need any help? The desert isn't exactly a super welcoming place for those who aren't from here or used to it.
Yeah, we could probably use all the help we can get. So far, the Thrycreen are really the only reason we're not dead. Does that seem like a fair assessment?
Yeah, that is a fair assessment.
Yeah.
I mean, that makes sense.
we-
The Thrycreen are very capable desert peoples, so sorry.
Do we know where we're going next?
Pollution.
We did not get any answers to that question, which is, now that I think about it, why we came to the temple in the first place.
Well, also for Kay's thing, because Kay's sort of collecting temples now.
Yeah,
I
but
guess.
Did we
Like
know
Pokemon?
that this was a K temple before we came here? I guess we kind of assumed. Kay, you didn't tell us about your dream until we were already here.
No, I told you about the dream when the old lady talked about the temple, and I was like, oh yeah, I had a dream about that. That's when I told everyone.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
It's slightly different because it happened slightly before.
That makes sense. That tracks.
We just thought we would accomplish 2 things at the temple, maybe, and then Rashidon didn't know anything.
But hey,
about
we
what we're
accomplished
looking
one
for.
thing, which is more than normal,
Truth.
right?
True.
Yes.
Bringing our average up to 0.3 or something. Things per day.
Things per day.
Yeah.
And the 2 young men are sort of looking back and forth at all of you during this conversation. So,
Do you guys want some jerky?
sure.
I made it myself.
Of course, we'd be very pleased. Thank you.
I give them some of my antelope jerky.
They each take some. This is not a desert animal, is it?
Nope, it comes from far away in the grasslands,
Oh!
which we have just been calling the grasslands. We didn't ask
Not
anybody that lives
that
there if they have like a
far.
name, right?
I think you did ask, and they didn't have one. I think you asked the Muriam, and they didn't have one. It's just where they live.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, like a couple of days travel that way.
We're familiar with the grasslands. We haven't been there before, but we've heard stories about them from others who have or have met some of the peoples that live there.
Yeah, they're great, except when they're on fire, which is a little bit, not gonna lie, a little bit terrifying.
On fire.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Does the desert ever catch on fire?
It's already kind of fiery, don't you think?
It is very hot, you're right, but there aren't, and he sort of gestures behind him to, like, mostly bare sand, and he's like, there aren't a lot of things out here to burn because the sand and the rock don't burn. I guess when plants are dead, they're burnable. I mean, that's what we make our fires out of, but the cacti, when they're still alive, they are very wet and they do not burn.
That's 1 point for the desert in my book. So you guys come out to the temple often?
Well, we're hunters and scouts, I guess you could say. So we come here as we're sort of doing our rounds of our territory. Yeah, and I mean, today specifically, we were escorting Fatimadan so that she could come visit her father and bring him food without, any danger to herself. She's still very young, so we didn't think it would be safe for her to come out here alone.
Yeah, there's like flying snakes out here?
Oh, yeah, sail snakes.
Yeah. Woof.
Did you meet one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And some
It was
really
not
horrible
nice.
little lizards.
Oh. And they sort of like take a better look at you all and like, oh, So even though you're not from here, you've seemed to handle yourselves well against some of the challenges the desert holds. You must be very capable people.
Everything but the heat.
Yeah.
Sure.
It doesn't feel like we're very capable a lot of times, but I mean, I guess we do okay.
We're not dead.
Yeah.
Yes, you are alive, which
Mhm.
is...
The 4 of us, at least.
He sort of like squints at you a little.
Too soon, Cedric.
I mean, it's true. There's kind of a survivorship bias among the party.
There's a lot of raw edges in this group. Well, yes, so if you did require help of any kind, we'd be happy to assist you, especially if Rashidon trusted you and, thought you were good people.
He thought my jerky was really good.
It is.
We did have one question that Rashidon wasn't able to help us with, but you mentioned you scout a large area as you hunt for your clan, and we came up this way along the river and through the grasslands and into the desert, trying to track down something that is putting out a poison into the earth that's traveling down into the river that is very far away and killing plants and killing fish. And we found it in the water of the river, and then we found it in the ground, flowing from this direction, flowing underground into the river. And we've been trying to track down any sort of strange activities or something anomalous in the environment that could be putting out this poison. And it's led us this far, and we're trying to see if anyone knows of anything strange in this region that might be the source of this.
So they both listen to you very, with serious faces, and sort of each think for a moment, and they have a bit of a conversation in a language you don't understand, which you might assume is the Scorpionfolk language. And after a moment, Halimadon turns back to you. It seems that he's the more outspoken of the two, and he says, well, if you're asking about strange things, this was a while ago. I don't know how recently you think the strange thing might have happened, but we did, a while ago when we were patrolling near the Stone Teeth, we thought we saw a figure, maybe two. It was hard to tell. They were very far away, but it looked like they were going into the Stone Teeth, which is odd because people don't normally go there. It's a very dangerous place. But I mean, that's the only odd thing either of us can think of. But again, it happened 2-3 months ago at least.
That would match up with the issues that have been happening in the river. And in what direction are these stone teeth?
They're to the sorry, I had to look at my notes. They're west of here, by quite a bit. You don't mean to go there, do you?
Let's go. We got this.
It's very dangerous.
We need to find whatever's making the poison and stop it. It's hurting a lot of people.
Well,
and this is the best lead we've had in a very long time. And so if you have any information about how we can better prepare to head out there, that would be very appreciated.
Well, the Stone Teeth is an area of high winds, and I mean, it's still part of the desert, so also high heat. And it's a maze, which is part of what makes it dangerous. It is very difficult to navigate through. We've never gone in there, but these are the things that people say. So because it's difficult to navigate, who knows what other sorts of dangers might be in there that one could encounter while trying to navigate through it. Which, again, is why we thought it was strange that we thought we saw someone going in there.
Does anyone of your clan have any knowledge of the Stone Teeth? Has anyone been in there before?
I don't think so. At least not anyone living. I don't think so. These are stories that people tell, but not firsthand.
whatever. What's one more obstacle that might kill us on our journey to make the river better?
Yeah, I guess my question is, on a scale from 1 to sail snakes, how dangerous is the stone teeth?
I mean, to be honest, you're the one, like, the lizard did more damage to you because you touched the sparking lizard in your metal armor.
Yeah, but now we
very
know.
intelligent
This
person.
sparking lizard.
But now we know that's a bad thing to do. So.
Mm-hmm.
You touched a shocker lizard?
He hit it
Oh.
with his axe, hammer thing, whatever it's called.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the axe is sharp on this bit right here.
Thank you.
That's
There.
how you can tell the hammer from the axe.
Well,
A hammer is a tool for making things, an axe is a tool for destroying things. Moradin's chosen carry hammers.
You pick a weapon that's as blunt as you are.
Sure, I don't beat around the bush.
Nice.
Yeah, I was pretty proud of it. Puns in common is hard. It sounds even funnier in Dwarfish.
Oh, keep that in mind. Yeah,
Wait,
sometimes jokes just don't translate.
In
No,
Dwarvish,
because-
there are no bushes in.
I
there's
was
no word
just
for
gonna
bush in
say,
Dwarvish.
no, there's no bushes
Right.
underground.
Those
Yeah.
famous underground
Yeah.
bushes.
So it's beat around the forge in Dwarvish, but I figured I would. I said that on the ship when I was coming into New Seychester, and no one understood what I was talking about. So then they told me about bushes.
Beat around the rat farm.
Yeah, that works too.
Like, it's normal to hit things around a forge, though.
Yeah, but you want to beat. No, you want to beat on the anvil. Beating around the forge is like it's like you're hitting in the wrong spot. You know what I'm saying? Like, you want to hit on the anvil. You want to strike the iron. You don't want to just beat around anywhere in the blacksmith shop. That's how you smash a finger or something like that. Actually, I think my third cousin lost a thumb that way.
And what was his name?
That was Clevin the Large. Yeah. His
You're gonna have to
father.
draw us a family tree, Cedric, because your
Sure.
family tree is a freaking
Can you-
forest at this
Yeah,
point.
can you draw it in the sand right now while we're all standing here? I think we'd all like to see it.
I don't think there's enough sand. Yeah, I would definitely take some
Die of heat
thinking.
exhaustion before he can.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's a lot. Yeah, we have a lot of people in the family, but I could do it. I
We'll
mean,
save that for another time.
sure. I mean, I could just list them off.
That's okay.
I can do it alphabetically if you want.
I would almost prefer you to talk about Moradin.
Oh, okay. Well,
Almost.
all right. Well, there's a lot of important symbolism that goes into the hammer. We can talk more about that later if you want.
I have no doubt you will talk at us about it on our long journey to the place of doom.
To the stone teeth, maybe.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Why is it called that?
Why is it
I'm so
called-
sorry about them.
It's okay. Why is it called the stone teeth?
Yeah.
Because they look like teeth.
That's it.
Yeah?
Okay.
We didn't
I mean,
name
that
it.
seems fair. Understandable. I didn't name New Seychester either, and I don't know why it has that name.
That is a strange name.
It is a strange name. I can barely even pronounce it. I've lived there almost my whole life.
Isn't there a Seychester in what's it called? That
Europe?
Tenebria?
Tenebria.
Europe?
Yes, thank you.
Don't break the analogy!
Yeah,
Europe.
I was like, yeah,
Sorry.
Cuban people.
The not
land.
Europe.
Yeah.
Tenebria.
Tenebria. There's a Seychester in Tenebria, isn't there? Old Seychester? Is there an old Seychester?
Seychester the first.
She's never been to Tenebria. The only
Yeah,
one who
but
has
you
is
know.
Fletcher.
Why would I know? I've never been there.
Fletcher, you've been there, right? You're from Tenebria, right? aren't all humans from Tenebria? I mean, I guess now we've established Kay's not really a human, but like.
And also not from Tenebria.
There are several.
We're not all from Tenebria, Cedric. We also don't all know each other.
We all don't look the same either.
I mean, yeah, you've got the blue sparkles, but see, well, I don't know. None of the other humans have that.
It is true.
All humans are from the continent of Perim, or, well, I mean, that's like the home continent of humans, although they can live wherever they want, just like anybody else. But there are multiple human countries. So you've met, like, Fletcher is from Tenebria, but Leon is from a different country on Perim. And the gentleman who catered the event at the adventurers, or well, the Society of Explorers, he was from yet a different country on Perim. But Tenebria is the largest and most powerful, and yada yada yada.
Gotcha.
And the sun doesn't set on their empire. What?
Did we get a map at this point? Do we like have a physical map? I know like we as players have one, but do we have like us?
No.
Like a world map or like a
map of
Arda
like where
map?
we've come from so far.
Oh, of Arda? I mean, Fletcher, I think, was drawing one as you go, but like no one has cartographed the continent yet. At least not the interior.
On that thing that you're drawing, like which direction we should go.
Well, they said go west.
Yeah, but like how far west? All right, fine. We'll just go west until we hit the giant stone teeth, apparently.
Well, the mountains are to the west, right?
Correct.
So, yeah.
Before the mountains.
They're like little mountains, like stone teeth. They're like little mountains.
Oh,
Almost like they're stone teeth.
they're
I
not.
don't know.
They're not mountains, because a mountain has, and he sort of makes like the triangle shape with his hands, right? Mountains have sort of sloping sides. These are, and he sort of puts his fingers up, more thin and straight-sided. And they are very, very close together.
Well, I'm all for walking into the jaws of death. Let's do it, team.
Ooh, Jaws of Death. Good one. Good one, Kay. Maybe we should.
You should have called it that. Stone teeth. You should have called them Jaws of Death.
Yeah, I wouldn't go into some place called Jaws of Death.
I mean, we didn't name them, but I thought
Yeah, but you could start it.
Did want to go in there. I'm very
Yeah, but we
confused.
want to go because it's called the Stone Teeth. But if you'd been like, no, it's called the Jaws of Death, we would have been like, not worth it.
I mean, I did say it's very dangerous.
Yeah, but that's just.
That's opinion.
Yeah,
Oh.
sure. Danger,
okay.
Danger is one of those. It could mean a lot of different things. Death is very. I know what death is.
Kay like starts walking down the stairs. Bye, everybody.
Wait, we're just gonna go. What time is it?
Yeah, wait.
It's early evening.
Yeah. Do you guys have like a tent we can borrow in your town, or like, is there an inn or something like that?
And
We have
Like
tents.
somewhere to sleep.
We
Yeah,
have so
food.
many tents.
Can we eat something
Yeah, we
other
do.
than his
We have-
turkey? It's good, but there's just a lot of it. So
Yeah, and you got to drink a lot of Nadia's water to make up for the fact that my jerky is so dry.
salty.
It's not actually
think
that
I
salty.
still have-
I don't have any salt, so it's just dry. Because salt was not a thing that I thought about bringing.
you just got salt from you bought it in the Thrycreen camp when you got all your spices.
Right, but I made
You
the
just
jerky
smoked
before.
your jerky.
Yeah, you
Yeah, I
smoked
made the
your
jerky pre-Thrycreen.
Yeah. Also, you don't have enough salt to like jerky a whole antelope. Let's be real.
Yeah.
Like, that's
Yeah,
a
yeah.
lot of salt.
We'd have
a
to have a
50-pound
barrel.
bag of salt. Yeah. I'm carrying these 2 tents. I bet if somebody else carried one of these tents, then I could carry more salt.
I'm not strong. Don't look at me.
Okay.
I could carry one, I just couldn't fly with it.
I mean, I can keep carrying it. That's all right. Just mentioning it.
Gordon is trying to harden you into symbolism and stuff by carrying 2 tents.
You gave up so quickly on that.
Yeah. Yeah, Cedric kind of gives you a like, mm-hmm. Even he sees through your bullshit.
This is your Moradin level 10 intense training.
Yeah.
It's intense.
I had to go through the level 10 training when I was like 7, you guys. Come on. This is like level 43 or something.
So yeah, do y'all like live in a town with like a place that we could sleep and eat some food that isn't Cedric smoked jerky?
Oh, yes, our clan is camped not too awfully far from here. If you wanted to stay the night, trade, whatever, I'm sure they'd be happy to have you. You seem like, interesting people at the very least, if a bit reckless, but
Nautia can make water.
Harmful. Oh.
So
We can trade water in the morning.
She can trade you water for stuff. Does that help our case?
That is definitely a useful skill.
Indeed.
She's
Nadia's the
very
best.
useful.
Pulls out spell card.
Trying to remember how much it makes.
I think you made
2 gallons.
No,
That's
I
not-
didn't-
Gallons. It's
5
2 gallons per
liters?
level.
Yeah, I thought you made
Oh.
4 gallons because you
So
traded
4.
2
Mhm.
to
Yeah.
the Thrycreen.
I was trying to remember what we traded and what we needed.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I can make 4 gallons before the end of the day today, and then more in the morning.
Oh, that is a lot of water.
That's a lot.
Yeah. I'm sure in that case our people would be very happy to have you visit us.
So is that what we want to do? Go back with them, figure out more supplies, and then head out like early morning, because we can only like travel and then like get inside tents and escape the midday sun and then travel again. Is that our plan?
That sounds very nice to me. Because I don't know about you guys, but I'm pretty worn out after all the acrobatics and climbing and
Puzzle
jumping
solving.
through the air in wind gusts that we just did. Like, that was a lot.
You did have a very trying day, it's true.
The trials were very trying.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, well, if you all don't have anything else you need to do, we can certainly take you back to the camp. I think Fatima Don will probably escort her father home when it's time, but...
Oh, okay, yeah, I didn't know if you guys were waiting for her or...
No, I don't think so. I think she'll be all right.
Okay.
Okay. So you follow them back to their camp. It's only maybe like a 20-ish, 30-ish minute walk, so it's not awful. And again, it's like early evening, so it's also not too terribly hot out here anymore. So you're able to make it there without a problem. And yeah, the Scorpionfolk camp looks a little reminiscent to the Abyxian camps that you visited. So again, these are not permanent structures mostly, right? Or the ones that are sturdier still look like they could be dismantled and packed up and carried somewhere else, right? So you get the impression that a lot of the peoples in Arda at least give themselves the option of moving around to sort of, conveniently pursue resources and things like that. So not a lot of them sort of stay in one spot the whole time. But these 2 young hunters sort of led you to believe that like this clan has still like a territory within the desert that they circulate in. So you see, and there are a whole bunch more scorpion folk in the camp, of course, young and old, male and female, whatever, kids playing outside of tents and stuff like that. And there's actually quite a bit of activity. And the young men who are escorting you sort of explain as you're coming into the camp. Our people sort of run our society on the cycles of the sun and the moon, because the desert sun can be so harsh. So this is actually a time when a lot of our community is out and about, because it is a more pleasant time to be out.
That is very true. It is much better to be out now than in the middle of the day. We figured that out the hard way.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not really used to this kind of whole. Sometimes it's really hot, sometimes it's really cold. Like it's always a nice temperature underground. So I didn't really think about that. It's rough living on the surface.
A constant temperature underground. That does sound nice.
Yeah, it's great. Underground is the best.
Yeah, well, it would be hard to be underground here because so much of the ground is sand.
Yeah, bad tunneling in sand.
The temperature stays pretty similar in the Habu Zoo too.
That's true. It does.
Yeah? Is it all water there?
She was talking about the rainforest.
Oh, the
Forest.
rainforest.
The forest.
No, the forest. Oh. Sorry.
No, like home is all water.
Like no
But
no
It's a different plane.
like so it's like an ocean, right?
Yeah, but just ocean. It's just water.
The two
Like there's
scorpion folk escorting you are staring.
Is there a top to the water?
There's up and down, but there's not a. Is there a top to the sky? It's just water.
I never really thought about a top to the sky before.
I mean, this
It's
is the first time that you're
just-
seeing the sky, to be fair.
Well, no, I saw the sky for the first time like 2 months ago. I've seen it a lot by now. Just saying. Like 3 months ago. It was a while.
That sounds wonderful. A place with lots of water.
Well, it's a different plane. It's a place we can't get to now, but it's all water. There's no sand. There's no sky. It's just water.
That sounds like a very odd place.
It's very different.
If it's all water, why can you fly?
That's a very good question.
Because all methods have
They're-
wings.
All methods have wings.
I mean, penguins
Well, let's
have
be real. Let's
wings,
be
but that
real.
doesn't mean they can
Actually,
fly.
they could be. They could help propel in water because if you look at them, they're fin-like. They look like fins. So
Yeah, so like
I-
penguins
also-
have wings,
Faster.
but they can't fly with them.
Also, I just appreciate that, like, probably Nautia would know, right? It's like asking a human, like, why do you have thumbs? Like,
Right. Yeah.
You know, if you're not an evolutionary biologist, you're probably like, oh, I don't know, I just do, right? Like,
and make me move faster, just like here.
Maybe she's like a flying fish.
She's just a
Yeah.
creature that lives in 3 dimensions. You know?
Yeah.
Like,
Aren't we all creatures that live in 3 dimensions?
you know what I
technically?
mean. Like, can move and...
My creature that was written to just show up and cause mischief and then go away again.
Eh.
That's what methods are for, y'all.
Yeah,
Now she's our integral strategy to stay
Mechanically
in
speaking.
places.
yeah. I can't believe the character or the monster stat block didn't have a taxonomy and, you know.
The monster stat block can't even agree with itself. There
That's-
is some contradiction just within the description. Like there's the method overall description and then the individual methods, and it's like, oh, y'all need to make up your mind.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So, okay, I don't know how much we've been kind of waffling between character and not in character. Has Nautia met methods from other planes? Like, do you know earth methods and fire methods?
Yeah, I feel like the same reason she was there, other ones might have been in and out too.
Makes sense.
There are a lot of creatures that just, well, when they could, made a habit of just sort of like touring the plains for funsies. Yeah.
Then the pandemic hit. I mean, the loss.
Oh! Why you gotta be like that?
Our whole plane is in lockdown.
The whole plane is in lockdown. Oh, no.
Pandemic.
That's good.
Oh, I
That's
am
really
injured.
good. Yeah, that's the most I've enjoyed a pun in a long time. That's very good.
Ouch. Okay.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So anyway,
Is there a market or somewhere that we could where we would trade water or is it? Do you have something like that set up, or is it just individuals in their homes have certain things?
There isn't a market so much right now. That's more a thing like when we meet up with other clans, I guess. But I mean, there are craftspeople and there's a healer, and I mean, what are you looking for? We can help you find something.
Probably food that can be traveled with through the desert is probably our most important resource we're looking for.
and maybe some health potions if we fall off some more cliffs.
Didn't we just with the Thrycreen buy food?
Yeah, you definitely bought food from them because I think you bought cactus fruits and leaves, and you bought bread, and yeah, you definitely bought food from them.
Yeah. And that was yesterday. So we're probably good on rations.
Yeah.
Well, they said it's a bit of a ways to get to a stone maze in the desert. So I feel like we might want to have more food than we think we need.
But the stone maze is going to be easy because Nautia can just fly up above it and tell us where to go. It's not like an underground maze. Those are difficult because you can't, cheat by going over the top. This is going to be a piece of cake.
I feel like somehow we're gonna be screwed now.
No,
Well, if we don't want food, what do you want to trade for, Cedric?
I was thinking, he said there is really windy. I was thinking maybe some cloth to wrap over my face, just because the couple of times that sand has blown in my face.
We
it's
do
been,
need masks in the lockdown of the plane.
I hate all of this.
I'm
I'm flipping the table on this campaign and starting over.
I've gotten sand in my eyes twice now, and it is very unpleasant.
You think it's more important if the sand doesn't go up your nose or in your mouth?
I mean, my beard kind of protects those a little bit.
It's like eyelashes for the rest of your face.
and I can keep my mouth closed, so that won't be a problem.
Can you? I've never experienced that.
Sure, yeah, I do it lots of times.
Fletcher, have you ever heard Cedric not talk?
No.
Not even when he's sleeping?
He sleep talks about Morden. Haven't you
I bet
heard?
Cedric does sleep talk.
And snores like crazy.
Oh.
No, I don't, do I?
It's all this fresh above ground air. You've got allergies.
Oh, man. That's embarrassing.
some sort of pollen out here, man, and just wreaks havoc.
Wait, what's pollen?
Don't explain that
for
to
a
him.
different day.
One of you said something about healing. Is that a thing you need?
Do we need healing potions in case we fall off cliffs?
Anything you have that you use for healing injuries that you might use out in the field when you're hunting or battling malicious creatures. I think we would certainly be interested in trading for whatever we may be able to obtain to heal ourselves.
Sure. Yeah, we can take you to our healer, and they lead you to one tent structure, and sort of stick their heads inside and say, Sophia Don, we have some interesting guests from a far way away who were interested in seeing what you had to offer in terms of healing, and they have water that they're interested in bartering with. And you see a sort of maybe like late 20s-ish Scorpionfolk woman come out of the tent and say, oh, well, new friends who come bearing water are definitely welcome here. And she sort of stops and takes a look at all of you and, well, they certainly are interesting. Hello. I'm the healer for this clan, at least right now. How can I how can I be of service?
Sorry, I just gotta say, for people who are experiencing this only in audio, Cedric, Kay, and Nautia all waved like really excitedly when she said hello,
Yes,
and
they
Fletcher
did.
just like blank look, just like.
Because I think of this as audio.
Yeah.
Oh, I was fully aware of the audio as I was doing it.
Yeah,
Just did it.
yeah. But it's just like that's
We have a live audience too. Let's make it worth it.
Yeah. Don't forget about the
Cedric
live
is the kind of
audience.
guy who waves in person when he meets somebody, like very excitedly. Cedric is probably a hugger too. So
Oh, goodness.
Probably hugs just like a little too long. A creepy hugger.
Yeah, he gives you like one of those like squeeze and then let go, and then gives you another squeeze right before he lets go. Yeah. Also, just like over enthusiastic handshakes.
Kay looks at Fletcher and just kind of like whispers in his ear. She's like, for one time, I'd like to like not be interesting, not introduced as interesting. We're always interesting. Everyone just stares at us.
There are a lot worse adjectives that could be used.
So while that's happening, Cedric leans over to Naughty and he's like, "Did you know that in Dwarvish, make water is actually a euphemism for peeing?"
Interesting.
I thought that was funny.
I wonder if water methods have like more concentrated nitrogen in their urine.
Oh my
Because they
God.
can just be like excreted through the water. Because
Like-
that's what aquatic insects do. They have like really highly concentrated nitrogen because it just like gets taken up by the water. So I wonder what Nadia's pee is like.
Well, and then is the water plane freshwater,
Or salt.
brackish,
Oh,
or
yeah.
salt? So
That's
then
a
is
good
she
question.
having to deal with being like hypotonic versus hypertonic to the water she's in? Because then if it's like salt, we shouldn't just be making her go into fresh water here, because she could just like die. Same the other way. If she can't adapt to both conditions.
So the thing is, I've given this character a good bit of thought because again, methods were designed mechanically within the game to be throwaway weird magical creatures that show up, cause trouble, and then they go back where they came from.
Yep.
Who make one sustainable within the environment of this campaign. I had to put a lot of thought into things, and there are certain places where I have just said, and here we will wave our hands and pretend that
No, you're like a salmon because you can go
Wings are
from
one.
salt water to
Another.
fresh water to lay your eggs or reproduce and go back. So you can do both.
Well,
Or an American eel, which does it opposite.
yes.
Yeah.
Well, so you guys have already seen that, like, she told you, I think in the Miriam camp is when she explained it, because there was this whole thing about wanting to take a bath, that she can heal, if she is submerged in any kind of not polluted water, and also if it's raining, she can heal.
Mm-hmm.
So rain being not salty water, she can at least tolerate not salty water. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Just don't think about it too hard. It's fine.
Just reverse the polarity of the deflector shield, and then it's fine.
Yeah.
So yes, how can I be of service to all of you?
We are looking to trade for whatever you may use for healing wounds and that sort of thing in your people, because we are tomorrow setting out to the Stone Teeth.
Oh, and she sort of like looks at the two young men who brought you here, and they're going to the why? And they're sort of like, they're looking for weird things, and we saw something weird there. I don't know.
There's something very bad hurting the river, and that is then hurting the people who live in and are near and around the river, and so we're trying to fix that, and it sounds like maybe the people that it might be coming from there.
Oh.
It's our best guess.
Well, in that case, you'll definitely want to be prepared, because the stone teeth are dangerous.
Can you do you know anything about them? Like, what are we getting ourselves into other than a labyrinth of doom and destruction?
I don't know. I mean, anything that's dangerous about the desert could be in there, but maybe things that we don't see in just sort of like the normal, easily navigable parts of the desert. I'm honestly not sure. It's always sounded really scary to me. But
do you know anyone who's been there?
I don't think so.
That is inconvenient.
Most people don't go there because, like, there isn't, as far as we know, there's nothing really useful in there. I mean, I guess, I don't know, the region on the other side, some people like the stuff that you can find there, but, like, it doesn't seem especially useful, so.
Well, when we go and come back, we'll let you know what's there so you can tell other people.
That would be...
We can serve as the warning for anyone else who may be stupid enough to try.
That would be wonderful, yes. And I have poultices, I have herbs that you could, sort of build your own healer's kit. I have some potions. What would you be most interested in?
Fletcher's our guy who does all the planning. I'm not good at the planning.
Is he froze?
We probably need potions.
Frozen. There's no way
no.
Ryan could be sitting that still.
Yeah.
Not without
It's in a
blinking.
very thoughtful
no!
pose, too.
Yeah. I was like, there's no way. He hasn't blinked
Fletcher
in a really
is
long
like
time.
looking at his notes or something. Cedric, you're
Yeah.
second in command.
Ooh, yeah. Okay, quick question. What are herbs?
They're like dried up plant stuff.
Yes. Well, I mean,
Oh.
herbs are plants, but I have them dried for, storage and transport.
He literally lived under a rock because he's like from underground, so he doesn't know like what plants are.
So these are like medicinal mushrooms, basically, right?
What is a
Like
mushroom?
you'd use to make.
I know what both of these things are. Mushrooms are like plant-like things, but don't have the texture of plants when you eat them, and also kind of grow in a interesting shape.
She's doing the hand gesture.
The last time I was in France, I could not remember the word for mushroom, and so I had a dish with mushrooms on it, and I asked what it was, and the waitress or the server did that like on the table and looked exactly as uncomfortable as Nancy. Like, I think she started at the bottom and went up.
You weren't here, so now we're miming mushrooms. And then like herbs are just like the plants, like other plants you've seen around, but they're usually like short plants, or sometimes they're just little leaves, but yes, they like oftentimes are both used medicinally. In New Chester, you can find both medicinal mushrooms, and you can also find medicinal herbs. Sometimes you can find a mix of both.
I don't know anything about medicinal herbs. That seems... I'm just getting used to the idea of spices. So,
It's
Fletcher,
like that, but
you're definitely... Fletcher, I was trying to discuss buying ingredients for healing potions while you were gone, but I don't know any of this stuff.
Wait, so you're trying to buy ingredients, not just something they already have made?
Well, you were being uncharacteristically quiet, so...
I have poultices, I have herbs and other components to build a healer's kit, I have potions. Really, I can sort of figure out whatever you might need.
I think the potions, poultices, and elixirs and things you may have would be best for us, because I doubt having individual components when we're out in the desert, we won't be able to do much to create those things ourselves. Especially, it sounds like we may need them perhaps suddenly and quickly in maybe dangerous situations. So
I
if you
fell
have
off
something,
a cliff.
That is often how they're needed. You what?
I fell off a
he
cliff.
fell off a cliff.
It would have been really convenient to have one that when a moment that I like fell off a cliff.
Oh, I have a bunch.
Goodness.
We can do some healing, but sometimes we run out, or sometimes they need something and we can't get to them.
And they're not heavy, and we're literally going into the jaws of death. So maybe we should stock up.
Yeah, we can always use more. They can't be heavier than this tent.
Just gonna keep going with that.
Cedric, we thank you for your sacrifice and your service, and Moradin is definitely forging you into the best, biggest hammer there is.
I mean, that's true, but I feel like you're not being genuine when you say that, Kay.
Ouch! I'm hurt! You wound me, sir!
Do you want me to heal that? I have a potion.
Wow.
I thought you can use your magic hands!
I could.
True.
Oh boy. Okay, so what would you like? Mechanically, she has Cure Light Wounds potions, Cure Moderate Wounds potions, and she even has Endure Elements potions.
That sounds handy.
That sounds handy.
Yes.
How much are they?
So equivalently to water, the Cure Light Wounds or Endure Elements potions would be 1 gallon, and the Moderate Wounds potions would be 2.5 gallons.
Each?
Mm-hmm.
How long does the Endure Elements potion last?
I believe it's an hour. Yeah, I believe it's an hour. Let me check the spell.
I'm going to choose to believe that it's basically just sunscreen.
Kind of, yeah.
Oh, I was wondering, because Kay has like the sparkles in her skin, if she doesn't get sunburned because it reflects the light.
Hilarious.
You think if she like lived in like heaven plane, then like they would be closer to the sun and obviously have evolved some sort of sunscreen. Like some fish do that. Some fish have like sunscreen properties in their.
I mean, yeah, maybe parts of you don't get as sunburned, but you're not all over blue and sparkly. So
It's true.
I'm sorry. Endure Elements last for 24 hours.
Ooh, fancy. And how much water does that cost?
That was 1 gallon. A creature protected by Endure Elements suffers no harm from being in a hot or cold environment. It can exist comfortably in conditions between -50 and 140 degrees Fahrenheit without having to make fortitude saves.
Wow.
It makes you into a tardigrade.
So Nautia could produce enough water to buy us each 2 of those, right? Can't you make 4 gallons of water?
Yeah, that we'd have to buy. They'd have to have 8 in stock, and we'd have to use all the water today and tomorrow to buy them.
Well, like I can prepare 1 extra, like, because like today I've only prepared 1 crate water, but like I could do 2 tomorrow morning, and we could have more to trade and take with us.
I have 2 of the Endure Elements potions. And then I have 1 of the Cure Moderate and 3 of the Cure Light.
If we split the potion in half, does it last 12 hours for each person?
No, you have to drink the whole thing in order for it to work.
What if one of them drinks the whole thing and then I just put some of it on my nose? Because it's like really...
Zinc oxide.
Yeah. Cedric is the kind of guy who would have the zinc oxide, you know.
I mean, if you're looking to protect your skin, I do have this paste stuff that you can put on it.
Ooh, yeah. Can I get some of that? And do you have like a big hat with like a big brim on it?
I do not.
Cedric, she's the healer.
Do you know anybody in the tribe that would have that makes hats?
Maybe someone who works with textiles? I'm not sure.
I will buy the sunscreen.
Okay. What are you using to buy the sunscreen?
Money?
Like gold?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you can buy a little pot of this like ointment stuff that she's got for a gold piece. Yeah.
Okay. Excellent.
And it will keep you from being sunburned.
Also, what was the thing they had in the temple where we did the fire in the troughs?
You got a +2 to your fortitude save when dealing with heat in environments.
Heat, okay.
Yeah. Oh, and the Endure Elements potion protects you against like heat and cold in the environment. It does not protect you from fire or cold damage, like magical damage or whatever. So, or like lava.
Cedric did not get that benefit, so
No, he did not.
yeah. Hence the sunscreen.
Sure. Yeah. So yeah, would you like to purchase any of those potions from Sophia Dawn?
Well, we have 4 gallons of water today, right?
Yes.
So we could buy, we could trade for both potions of resist elements or endure elements and
Endure
2
elements,
potions of light wounds because they each cost a gallon.
Mm-hmm.
And then tomorrow, if we had another 4 gallons, we could get the last cure light wounds and the cure moderate wounds, and then still have a half gallon of water left, even off of only 4 gallons.
Yeah. Well, I can do, because we'll want to take some with us as well. Like, we'll want to stock up, obviously. And we said 2 gallons each for us. So basically, I could do 6 to trade in the morning.
We have
to
enough.
4 for today.
We should only need 3.5 of those to, if we want all these potions, we could do it with just water. And then if you have 2 spells prepared, like, we'd still have water left over, is what I'm saying.
But
We
like,
also
just
have
for
a lot
us
of-
to be prepared before we go out into the desert ourselves, it would
Yeah.
be an extra 2 gallons for us.
We also have a lot of group gold, if there's any of these things we want to buy with gold. And then have more water, and then, like, you know, a lot more water that could be cast while we're out in the desert.
Can we use some of our group gold to buy me a hat?
Sure.
Yay. I mean, you guys could get hats too if you want.
Oh.
But that's your one souvenir. You don't get anything else.
Aww.
Fletcher's in full dad mode.
It's okay. I've got my.
Actually, I think I might.
You might what?
Oh, I was thinking I might actually pick up a wrap of some sort. Because I'm thinking blistering heat and sand probably doesn't go too well with scales.
Yeah. Your fishnets are not a useful functional item.
Lizards
No,
have
that was
scales. They
camouflage
seem
for
to
the
be just
jungle.
What was that, Nancy? Lizards have
Lizards
scales?
have scales, and they seem to be doing just fine out here in the desert. Maybe you have the different kind of scales.
I'm pretty
Their
sure
scales are
that's racist,
smaller
Kay.
than mine. My
Mm.
scales are big. Or bigger. Theirs are smaller and close together.
Nadia's had a lot of time to study lizards.
I have had so much time.
There's a whole decade there in the jungle where you just looking at lizards.
See, you think you're joking.
Looking at lizards.
I mean, Nautia was probably like a very eloquent philosopher before she spent 100 years living by herself in the jungle.
No. She was a dumb kid.
All right, what are we doing?
I'll buy a
So
hat.
how much are each of those things in gold?
Cure Light and Endure Elements are 50 gold each. Cure Moderate is 300 gold each.
You're way better off paying for it with
Yes, I'm being very
water
nice.
than Nautia can just create. Yeah.
Just for this particular circumstance, Nautia can basically just make gold. Yes.
Yep.
I'm
Nautia,
being-
you
I'm
could
being
like
very
own
nice.
this entire desert.
Yeah, right?
I mean, there are druids within these groups of people too. She's not the only person in the desert who can make water.
Yeah.
Well, then what do you all want to do? Do you want to do it all with water, or some with gold, some with water?
Do it all with water. It sounds like
Yeah,
we've
do
got
it
enough.
all water.
Okay.
Nautia, as long as you don't mind.
Yeah. Just try not to get hurt a lot tomorrow.
Well, it's okay because we'll have all these potions.
Because we already had, like, when we left the Thiocrine, we had filled up on water and then hadn't really done much coming over here and doing the temple. So we do still have some water on us. So with the extra that Nautia would still have tomorrow, I think we would be okay. So we can say, so if we say we're going to do all that with water, even though it's split between 2 days, can we just say we're trading for all of that? Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So that was 3 Cure Light, 2 Endure Elements, and 1 Cure Moderate.
Yeah. Who wants to take what? Can I have a Light Wounds?
I don't need any of them. I'm already carrying 10 healing potions. I don't need any more.
You have 10?
10?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
How do you have 10?
I have 4 potions of Cure Moderate Wounds and 6 potions of Cure Light Wounds.
Where did you get all of them?
What?
Like, I haven't used any of them. I think we've used
Oh.
1 healing potion so far.
Man, I was like, oh, look, I still have 1 Cure Moderate Wound squirreled away my bag. Man, how'd I manage to ration that?
Yeah,
Oh, never
several of
mind.
those are granola. I just condensed them
whatever.
into for the sake of my
Yeah,
character
that's
sheet.
what one of mine is.
Yeah.
The granola functions exactly the same as a potion.
Several of them are potions with granola floating in them.
Oh.
It's like
You
overnight
stuffed
oats.
them all into
Yeah.
one
It's like
thing.
overnight oats.
yeah. Cold brew, potions.
Oh wow. Okay.
Soup of Cure Light Wounds.
yeah. It's very hearty. When you're dying, you want something that really fills you up.
Yeah, when I'm dying, I definitely want to have to chew
Yes.
to keep myself alive.
There
Don't
was
choke
that
on this.
whole
I know you're
argument about the
unconscious, but
granola. I just wanted some fun storytelling flavor so that they weren't always potions. Not everybody has glass bottles.
Again, with the hand waving.
yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Well, and like if I wanted to be really, pedantic or specific here, like these aren't in glass bottles, right? They're in like a terracotta container because that's a thing that these people would have, but they don't necessarily have glass. Mm-hmm. Yeah, okay. So
What-
you have...
Let's say, what about the other potions? I mean, if other people, I'll take 2 Cure Light Wounds if nobody else is clamoring for them. Like,
Yeah, take them.
Me too.
Yeah, I don't have any room in my bag with these 2 tents. So,
how much does a tent weigh?
a lot.
Yeah.
It is 20 pounds. So we're carrying 40 pounds of tent right now.
I've been there.
I can probably carry a tent because everything else I carry is like, it's all like a jumble of small things that I keep in my bag. I really don't carry anything else.
I've got like my tent, my shield, my warhammer, my Mako Weedle, my scale mail. Like,
Don't you have...
like,
Didn't you have a shield before the Darkwood shield, too?
yeah,
So you have 2 shields.
yeah, I haven't. Yeah, does anybody want this shield? Do you?
I don't think
Can't
any of
use
them
it.
can use a shield.
No.
All right, I guess I'll keep carrying it then.
But I'll take a tent.
Okay, so Fletcher's taking a tent and 2 of the Cure Light potions. Kay, you said you also wanted potions, so do you want the other Cure Light and the Cure Moderate? Hello, Raiders! Thank you so much for hanging out. Hi, Hina.
Raid.
Thank you for coming to hang out with us. We are currently doing a little bit of inventory or organization, but they should get back to story sooner or later.
I'm about to buy a hat. That's
You're about
very
to
exciting. I'm very excited about this hat.
Yeah, okay.
Sheryl is less excited about the
It's
hat.
fine, whatever. We're doing what we do. All right, and then who's taking the Endure Elements potions?
Fletcher.
I can carry both of them, and then if it's just like whoever ends up needing it, like which may end up being Cedric, we just have them. It's because that's like, we wouldn't be using those in probably a life-threatening situation like combat, where you'd suddenly be like, let me spend my turn drinking a environment potion.
Yeah.
So I could take both of those.
Okay.
Sounds good.
My bag is built to hold all kinds of little vials and bottles, and
That's true.
Doesn't Fletcher have like a bandolier of vials or something like that?
I said
No, I just have a
pictured
bag.
that.
Oh, okay.
I said I had pictured a bandolier because he kept taking samples of everything, but I don't think he actually has one.
Well, it's like when you have those like bags entomologists use that just is all pockets and stuff inside. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Hayes is organized and just has a backpack where all the stuff is in.
Anytime she wants to find something, she has to like upend it and.
Yeah, basically you just hear like ding, 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 ding. She like roots around inside.
Yeah, first time we get our hands on a oh crap, what's it called? Bag of holding.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, not Fletcher.
Or a handy haversack. You have options.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. Okay, so we've distributed potions. What are you doing next? The
think
two young
Cedric's
men
gonna
who
get that.
escorted you into the camp have sort of wandered off to do other things, so you can sort of, do whatever.
Let's get Cedric a hat. Maybe
Yeah.
he'll be happier.
Yeah. I tried for a little while, using this buckler as a hat, but even with like a strap, it's like really heavy, but it does block the sun pretty nice. But like something this big, that would shade my shoulders a little bit, but not as heavy as a shield.
I mean, like I said, maybe you could go talk to Naturalist. She does textile work. I don't know if she makes hats, but I mean, you could ask.
Okay. Where is her setup?
So
Abode.
she points, it's sort of like, there's a loose sort of like center aisle to the tent, so she points it's on the opposite side and like 3 down, but, easy for you to find.
Thanks.
Of course.
Appreciate it.
Good luck. Stay safe.
You too.
We'll be a lot safer with these potions. Thanks, guys.
Yes, I hope so.
Bye.
Bye.
Cedric gives her a hug.
In the plain-demic, you're gonna give her a hug.
Well,
Yeah.
but so also
We're
like
all in the same bubble.
you might want to rethink that because like I don't know if we explained it before when you met Rashidon, but like the Scorpionfolk are large creatures, so like they're very big, and so like the humanoid portion of her doesn't even start until like a few feet off the ground. Like there's scorpions.
And then it's Cedric.
Because
Right. So like
we're
you,
basically talking. It's
He
a
just, like,
centaur,
hugs one of her
but instead of
legs.
a horse, it's a giant scorpion, right?
right.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With but
I
but, like, a
understood all of
centaur
this,
with
and
the
Cedric
person
understood
part.
all of this, and he still
Oh,
hugged her.
okay.
Like, it's a very awkward, like he's reaching
You
up.
hugged a leg.
Mhm,
Yeah, she
mhm.
like looks
Like-
down and is like, "Oh, thank you.
Bye.
Bye."
Thank you.
Uh-huh.
Well, now we're going
Retcon that I
to
also
Cedric
hugged
Shops Part
Everyone
2.
else that we've ever met.
Yeah. Cedric Shops Part 2. Can't escape Cedric shopping. All right, so you make your way over to Naturalist's tent, and yeah, you can see she appears to make like basketry, but also like little rugs and things like that. So at the very least, she knows how to weave. You don't see a hat per se right away, but like this is obviously the sort of person who could make such an item.
Let's turn a basket upside down.
Yeah. That looks perfect. Yeah.
You just want a
Cedric's her
basket?
case.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe something like that. That seems like a good starting point, at least. Hi, I'm Cedric.
Hello.
He's looking for a hat. Do you make hats?
Like something about the size of this buckler, but like, that I could wear that would block the sun.
You see
Big.
his nose is peeling a little bit. The desert has not treated him particularly kindly.
I suppose I could. Who are all of you?
We're new
Well, I'm
here.
Cedric.
Okay.
We're
Kay,
not from here.
Nautia.
We're
am
passing
Fletcher.
through.
I got that impression. Okay. And you said a hat?
Yeah, we were told you might be the most textile savvy person around. So
That
we
is
thought maybe.
what I do, yes. I don't have a hat like that already out here, but I suppose if you wanted one, I could make one.
That'd be awesome. Yeah, I'd be willing to pay extra for that since it's kind of a custom order. And I know my head's differently sized than y'all's, probably, I assume.
There was such a long pause.
Oh, it was like, I feel like Cedric has like a bigger head than.
He definitely has a big ego. Would it be able to fit in the hat?
Like he's got a big head for a dwarf, but these are large creatures, so I don't know, maybe their heads are even bigger than his.
Well, like the human-ish looking part of them is kind of equivalent in size to like Kay and Fletcher. It's just that they are large creatures because the scorpion part is very broad, right? So like a large creature doesn't mean it takes up a 10-foot cube. It just means that like it takes up quite a bit of space. So yeah. So yeah, like their heads are about the same size as at least the two human-ish people in the party. Yeah. Yeah, I could make something like that for you, I guess. When would you need it?
Well, we're hoping to leave tomorrow, kind of early.
Okay. Yes, I could work on that this evening. It shouldn't take me too long. Did you want to, do you have something to barter or trade for it, or?
We were gonna pay with gold. Is that all right?
Oh, sure. This isn't even, like, probably not a gold. I could take.
Oh no, we'll totally pay you a whole gold. Prices don't. No, yeah.
Okay.
Expense is no concern.
That's very generous of you. Thank you.
Yeah, it's okay. We're paying for it with party gold, so it's fine.
Okay. Yes, I can work on that. And you said you wanted the brim, and she sort of like puts her hands out like to the side of your head, and sort of looks at it for a moment. Yes, I can do that. If you just come back here when you're ready to leave, I will hopefully be done with it.
Fantastic.
I can just see Cedric in like a southern sun hat.
That's exactly what I want.
I would very much like fan art of this.
Fan art.
This needs to be So this needs to be like a Kentucky Derby hat.
With a bow on it.
Yes, a big bow and some flowers. And
Yeah.
I want a stuffed bird on it.
Not
Carolina
just a feather,
parakeet.
the whole fucking
Yes.
bird.
if you want a stuffed bird on it, you're gonna have to go kill the roadrunner yourself, because she's not gonna do that for you.
I'm sure the opportunity will present itself as an adornment.
If you kept one of the shocker lizards, you could put that on the hat.
No, we ate those.
That would have definitely
think you
sparked
killed
some
any,
interest.
did you?
No.
Womp womp. Okay. So you have purchased some potions from the healer. You commissioned a hat because Cedric likes to commission clothes in this game. Anything else?
Did she seem to have just like cloth for sale that could be used for a wrap?
Yeah. You could get something like that. Yeah.
Let me throw some of that in too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think like that'd be like 5 silver or whatever. And again, like similar to some of what you saw in the Thrycreen camp, like a lot of the cloth or the textiles that these people have is like woven plant fibers, so they're kind of coarse materials. But yeah, like you can find something.
Like honestly, I'm looking for whatever it is they are using and mimicking the way that they would wear it, because
definitely
hot, dry air.
Yeah, a lot of them have sort of like a, like a shirt type thing with a little bit of a cowl that they can put up to sort of shield their faces if there's a lot of wind blowing sand.
I was assuming as much, because there is a very functional reason for that.
Exactly. Think what people wear in the desert. That's what these people wear in the desert. Yes. Yeah. Finding feathers is not your new quest, Peter. You were sent out away from New Sachester in the first place to go find feathers.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we should technically already be in possession of birds and feathers.
Yes.
Speaking of feathers, I have a feathered friend that was out and about before we went into the temple. Have I seen it?
Yeah, when you came out, I was wondering if you were going to ask about this. When you came out, you saw her. She'd actually been, like, perched on one of the corners, just sort of, like, looking around. And when you guys came out, you got kind of a distance from the temple, and she sort of looked and decided to leave the corner of the temple and follow you. So yeah, she's sort of been like circling the camp a little overhead, just hanging out. Yeah, because you haven't really had a chance to do anything with her yet. Yeah.
Yeah, I would say once we were done shopping, I would probably try to find a spot sort of on the edge of camp and see if I can get her to come over.
Yeah. Make an animal handling check.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
Die. Oh, which is the right? There we go. Too many papers. Oh, right. I dumped a bunch into that. Which is good, because that's a 10.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, like, she, comes near you. It's not like she's, like, super excited to be there, but, like, she comes over and investigates what you're doing. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Trying to think if I would even have any food on me that would be, because I don't think I would have any sort of meat on me.
Use Cedric's jerky.
Sure. Hey Cedric, can I get a piece of jerky?
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah. Here, I think this bit is actually tenderloin, so I think it's gonna be much better. So here, yeah, cool. Take as much as you want.
Yeah, I'll just take just sort of a smallish piece and see if she's interested.
She's kind of interested. One interesting or important thing to note about birds of prey is that, like, when it gets really hot out, they tend not to eat that much. So, like, she's interested in it, but it's not like she's gonna eat a lot. She's sort of feeling blah because it's hot out.
I was sort of aiming for treat, not snack.
Yeah. Treat, not snack. There's a continuum of food here, I'm hearing.
small, little bit.
Snack? Like,
meal.
First? Meal, okay. All right.
Feast.
That's good.
Okay. All right. Yeah, anybody else?
I feel like Cedric's gonna go like lie down and put like a wet washcloth over his eyes. Kind of take it easy for the evening.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Fletcher's just probably doing a little bit of recording, journaling, and probably as soon as it starts getting like a little bit cool out, like you feel the night sort of starting to set in and it becomes like comfortable to go to sleep, he'll just go right to sleep probably, because we have to get up pretty early to get in traveling before we have to stop again.
Yeah. Okay, are you doing anything or are you sleeping?
She is contemplating her existence, which has recently come into question.
Well, your existence hasn't come into question, but everything you thought you knew about yourself has, so... All right, yeah.
Just little things.
So Cedric is maxing, relaxing. Fletcher does some paperwork and then goes to sleep. Kay has an existential crisis. Nautia hangs out with her bird.
All in very
I
different
have a
places
question.
right now.
Yes.
While we were in the temple and in all those waterworks, would I have spent a round in enough water at any point to achieve some healing from the encounter with the shocker lizards and the sail snake?
Yeah,
which
sure.
I think was that morning.
Yeah.
Okay.
Was it?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I got some hurt from those
Cedric
shocker
is
lizards
too
that somebody
oblivious
hit.
to have noticed
Yep.
that you needed some healing.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you guys spent enough time messing around in the water. All right. Well, if that is it for that night, then I think this seems like a really great place for us to take our 10-minute bio break. So, yeah, go refill your beverage, get a snack or a treat or whatever you feel like along the food continuum. Get up and stretch your legs. And we will be back very soon. Thanks, everyone.
Jaws of death! Jaws of...
And we're back! We're back. Hello. We missed
Hello.
you. I don't know if you missed us, but we're back anyway. Okay, so... all right, so you all are waking up early in the morning.
Oh, yeah. So, Fletcher, when you wake up, Cedric is, like, in your face. He's real close to you and, like, wide-eyed with this, like, a really excited look on his face.
Why are you already awake?
It's the 7th of Bright Run. Do you know what that means?
We're going to the stone place.
Yeah, but also it means that you and me and Kay have all known each other for 42 days.
And yesterday was 41 days. Are you going to act like this every day?
No, it's 42 days. You know, the amount of time that, like, Hrothgar Skullgrip and Limb Crusher the Red traveled together in the raft through the great underground sea and cemented their friendship. We're officially friends now.
Fletcher just rolls over.
Is this not a thing that humans celebrate? All right, fine. Well, I'll talk to Kay about it. Maybe the Aasimar are more into friendship.
I literally can't breathe right now.
Fletcher doesn't do mornings, so having to tent with Cedric is not a great thing.
Cedric's gonna go outside and, like, wait outside of Kay's tent, just, like, kind of, like, literally twiddling his thumbs, waiting for her to get up.
I guess Kay feels a disturbance in the force. Like, goes outside.
Kay, do the Aasimar recognize the 42-day friendship waiting period?
Waiting period?
Yeah, you do?
I don't know. I've never met any other Aasimar.
Oh,
I don't.
that makes sense.
Yeah. Sorry.
We're now officially friends.
I thought we were friends. Were we not friends yesterday?
But like real friends. You know, like and there's not really a good word for it in common, but like in Dwarvish it means like alloy friends, like when you become like a unit, like together, like, you know.
I am happy to be your alloy friend, Cedric.
Yay! Cedric gives you a hug.
For context for everyone at home, they wanted to know how long they'd known each other, so I pulled up the calendar for them off screen, and this is what happened, I guess.
This has always been Dwarven tradition. I didn't just retcon it at this moment.
Sure, yeah.
Specific detail. It is an important notation in our lives.
I'm very proud of you, Peter.
How do you normally celebrate friendship on this special day? Do we get cake?
No, we just we get to ask each other exciting questions about our childhood and get to know each other better.
Oh.
I've got like so many icebreakers that I've been preparing for weeks that we can talk about on the way down to the Jaws of Death.
We should have abandoned Cedric when we knew him for 41 days.
Excellent.
Yeah. I don't know if humans do icebreakers, but it's a long-standing Dwarven tradition.
I mean, we do, but it's normally like, what kind of food is your favorite? And
that's easy.
And like, how much does a large bear weigh enough to break ice? Although I don't know what ice is. I've never seen it, but it's a thing apparently, and you're all supposed to laugh. I think it comes from like Tenebria. It might be colder there, and there might actually be like more ice, but there's not a lot of ice here, so I don't think it really works. It's confusing. I'm sorry. I think I made things worse.
Yeah, human traditions are weird. It doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't make any sense. I'm with you on that one.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. Well, we can talk about the bear thing later. I guess. I just wanted to, I didn't like get you a present or anything like that. But
well, that's good because I didn't get you a present either because
Okay.
I didn't know it was a thing. So
yeah,
do
it's
you
a big
normally
thing.
like give each other presents? Is it like metal presents?
It can be sometimes. I don't know. I like this doesn't seem like a very present-y type group. Also, none of you guys seem interested in hats, so
I mean, yeah. I mean, I don't think I look good in hats. That's why. I bet you look excellent in hats, though.
I'm very excited about my hat.
You should be. Well, you used party gold for it, so technically that's our present to you.
Aww.
Oh yeah, I like that.
You're welcome.
Oh, thanks. Well,
It's a group hat.
Yeah, it's our hat. Yeah, it's very communist.
Only one person can wear it at a time, though.
Yeah. Still, we take turns.
Okay.
Excellent.
I realize if you put that on Nautia's head, it's just gonna
down to earth. All right. Well, I'm gonna go get my hat, but we should talk more about this later.
Okay. Well, I'm so glad that we're friends, and I'm glad that today is the official celebration of friendship.
I'm glad we're friends too. Fletcher's awake, by the way. He's just pretending to be asleep.
Oh, okay. Yes, I have no doubt that you probably are the one that woke him up.
No, I waited. I'm not rude.
Right, of course. All right. Well, why don't you go get your hat while the rest of us wake up? We're a little bit slower than you this morning, so. And this will be better because you get to try it on, and then we'll get to see it completely fitted, and then it'll be like more epic when you come back with your hat on.
Excellent. There is jerky in my bag over there.
All right. Well, we'll get breakfast started, I guess.
Cool. See you in a little bit.
Kayla goes over to Fletcher's like, "What is this friend thing he's talking about?"
I'm still rolled over, my eyes are closed, and I'm like, I have no idea.
Oh, okay. I
He
thought
started talking about people went somewhere in the ground with whatever, and I don't know.
Okay, well, it seems to be important to him, so like we'll just play along, and maybe he'll forget by tomorrow.
But is this gonna be like all day? Is this gonna be questions all day?
Maybe I can
While we're
distract him.
trudging through the desert, trying to get to this horribly dangerous place, and he's gonna be asking us questions all day.
I'll try and answer all the questions for you.
Because it's our alloy-versary or whatever.
I'll take one for the team for our alloy-versary if you don't want to answer any questions.
What else would he fill the time with in the desert?
Probably talking about that god of his.
Yeah.
I think being quiet's a great hobby.
There could be other things other than questions. The questions might not be so bad.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm thinking. Like, maybe we won't have to listen to him talk. Maybe we could listen to one of us talk for once.
It's going to be 20 hours of, I see with my little eye something sand-colored.
Is it sand? All right, well...
Is it that grain of sand? No, it's that grain of sand.
Okay, well, let's make some breakfast. Maybe we'll feel better about... I mean, I don't know what we feel worse about, the jaws of death or Cedric's questions, but maybe we'll feel better about both of the things with some breakfast.
It's all relative. You do the questions first, so when you get to the stone teeth, they don't seem nearly as bad.
Yeah, there we go.
It's very true. Fletcher also still needs to, like, wake up to feel about this.
From the looming sense of doom.
Yeah.
I don't know why you feel doom. But anyway, Cedric, you go to get your hat, and everybody else is breaking down camp and making breakfast and stuff. Okay. So you now have one sun hat made out of plant material.
Yay!
I like arranged your breakfast plate very nicely to celebrate our alloy-versary.
Aww!
It's like well, I don't have different metals, but there are different kinds of food, so maybe that counts.
Okay, that's so thoughtful. That's like the most thoughtful thing that anyone has done since I got to this continent for me.
Aw. I'm sorry, the continent sucks sometimes.
Yeah, it really
We're
does.
We're just a little gruff around the edges. I mean, we just don't have giant family like you, so...
You do.
I mean, but none of us are related.
Yeah, but
I
it's
mean,
family.
Yeah, that is true. I mean, it is family, but, like, I don't know. You all seem to, like, stay together, you know? Like, I'm still at the house because I want to help my parents. But, like, there's the 2 kids. But then we, like, some of us, like, have left forever and are just, like, gone. They just, like, got up and left one day. And we, like, haven't heard from them for, like, 5 years.
I mean, I guess I kind of did that. I mean, I didn't, like, just leave one day. I mean, I kind of told everybody I was going to do it. And then there was, like, a couple of weeks of celebrations and, like, kind of ceremonies. And then there was, like, the blessing from the Archammer. But, you know, then I left.
You're going to go back, though, right?
Yeah, someday. But, like, your siblings will probably come back someday, right?
I know. No, like, that one was just kind of like, I hate it here and I'm leaving forever. Bye. And left.
Sure, but you say stuff like that all the time.
Yeah, but you can tell that I don't mean it. And I didn't leave with, like, all of my stuff. I still have my room back home.
Fair enough. Well, maybe you'll run into each other. Do you know which sibling was that? You have so many.
I have so many. I don't know. It was like one of my older brothers. You know, he was around for a while, but not really. Like, he was in the house, but not like a whole ton. And I wasn't really close to him. I was like really young.
Maybe he traveled to the mountains and we'll run into him.
Yeah, maybe.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, I guess so. Hopefully he doesn't look that much different, or else I might not recognize him.
But I mean, like, how many people have we run into that have names that are like letters in a common alphabet?
Yeah, but sometimes people change them. Like, so V, for example, she changed her name to Evie.
She went through a transformation, you might say. Sorry, I couldn't. I couldn't let it go.
Does she have an elemental theme now, or
dark? You know, she's a little bit younger than me. She's going through like the moody teenager years. So, you know, like.
And Kay is not going through moody teenager years.
Yeah.
Okay, but I'm going through like moody teenager years, but I still like glitter and like happy stuff. She's just like black.
Yeah, I thought,
black,
isn't V like 11? Yeah.
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 He sounds cool.
11 is a powerful mood.
It is a powerful mood.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
That is for sure. It's difficult.
Mm-hmm.
All black robes, like just room covered in
robes?
black. Yeah, she like wears these weird like dress robe things. I don't know. She likes it, and like, I mean, who are we to say no?
Yeah, I mean, she'll probably grow up to be a wizard.
Yeah, maybe that'd be cool.
I hear early robe wearing is a sign.
Is that true, Fletcher?
I didn't know. I didn't wear robes. My family, part of my family had a forge. You'd catch on fire. I didn't wear robes. You'd catch on fire.
You have family that worked a forge? How have we never talked about this before?
For this exact reason.
All right, fine. Maybe, I didn't realize there was a sensitive subject. We don't have to talk about it.
I mean, I'm interested. What did you guys forge? How did you become a wizard then? I thought you just descended from like a whole like rich family of wizards that like passed down knowledge. You went to like a fancy university. You like.
No, my family ran a blacksmith shop. They made armor and weapons, and I was given my name because we also make bows. My siblings are named after things we do, but I did it for a while and didn't like it, and was much more interested in magic. There was a wizard came through our town once and that basically made me decide what I wanted to do.
Have you always been good at magic? Like, did you know? Could you like do weird things when you're supposed to be forging stuff?
Not really. It came down to how much work I put in at the university.
You can just learn to be a wizard? Could I learn to be a wizard?
Most people, to some extent, could learn to do some things. I think it's more about how advanced you can get with what you're doing. So I think you'd be able to learn to do some simple things.
I feel like that's an improvement than what you maybe would have told me when we first met. So I'll take it.
See, you guys are alloy friends now. See, it's a thing.
Right, the alloy friends.
See,
It
Kate,
sounds better in Dwarvish.
We played right into his hands. I just start eating my breakfast.
Cedric is like struggling so hard not to ask you more about your family and their forge and their smithing business. Also, thinking back on all the snotty things that he said about humans and their metal crafting abilities over the last 2 months.
Also, this randomly came to mind, but I like thought of Cedric in real life the other day because in the historic district of Quito, there's like this plaza where the churches are built on, and they're actually built over an underground ravine. So like the big quebrada, the big like ravine where the water goes through, is actually in the middle of one of like the structural foundations of the one of the churches that's like 150 years old. And that did not seem like good planning. Cedric would be disappointed.
Yeah, I mean, like, unless that ravine, has an important cultural significance. I mean, it's where the 18 darksmiths went over the falls into the chasm of something or other.
Do you only have one in you a day? Is that what's happening here?
Everyone, I think, only tolerates one a day, so it's not going to inflict too much of that on you guys.
But to me, it's just really funny because like one of the big problems here is like not that the volcano erupts like a lot of lava, it just erupts like a lot of rock and water and mudslides that would then go through that ravine that the structure of the church is built over.
Yeah, in Cedric's experience, volcanic ravine is a little bit more tricky than water ravine. Yeah, that seems problematic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You eat breakfast. What's next?
Also, Cedric, your hat looks amazing. Are we ready to go now?
Did we ask any of the folks that were telling us about the people going into the Stone Tea yesterday if they got a description of the people they saw?
They said they were really far away, because like the area of the Stone Teeth is like the boundary of it is kind of large, so like they were pretty far away. So they saw one figure, maybe two, and they did not have a description. Like they weren't even sure if it was one or two people, because when you are looking long distances in the desert, sometimes it's hard to tell details like that. So yeah,
Sure, we got that if it was available.
Nope. No description.
We'd probably head out. We don't want to spend too much time not traveling while it's conditions we can actually travel in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. So you head out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Heading west.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. So you start heading west. I imagine that the navigation isn't too awfully difficult because Nautia's able to do her pop up and look around thing to keep you going in, basically the right direction. And like the sun does start to come up behind you, so you can, oh yeah, we're going in pretty much the right direction through that as well. And you're traveling through the cool of the morning right now, so I'm not going to make you do fortitude saves yet. But is there anything like you'd like to do while you're walking, or is there a point in time where you're planning on stopping for some reason?
How far away are the stone teeth?
They said it was quite a ways, so like it's going to be like several hours of travel.
Will we be able to? Would we make it before having to like bed down for the midday, or is it gonna have to be like we'll have to get there in the second part of today, like to be safe?
It kind of depends, yeah. Like okay. Depending on how long in the morning you want to walk before you stop, like yeah, it's gonna be yeah.
Okay.
I guess we're walking until we get sleepy.
Yeah, okay.
Or we're there.
Yeah, so how long would you like to walk? Like until what hour of the...
Walking until noon, probably?
Well, we left before sunrise.
Yeah.
So that's pretty early for, if it's beginning of summer-ish in Arda. So we could get in a good number of hours and stop by like
10.
10? Yeah, 10:30, and then it'll probably be starting to warm up, and we could have time to like safely get set up and get in our tents before it's like trying to set up tents in 110 degree weather or something.
Yeah, that's fair. And yeah, in that amount of travel time, you Nautia, you definitely in the distance are able to make out some sort of irregularity in the terrain. So like you are within sight of it now. So it's probably 2-3 more hours of travel past the point where you guys stop to set up camp for the midday heat. Is there anything you're doing while you camp for the midday heat, or are you just hanging out?
Oh, yeah. Totally.
Goodness.
I mean, if you're going to ask.
Ryan's like, why did you ask?
Well, Fletcher and Cedric are sharing a tent. So Cedric is like, so if somebody gave you like $1 million gold, what would you do with it?
$1 million gold.
Yeah, like just like you won like a gambling thing and won like a huge amount of money.
Probably set up my own place to figure out things with magic and not have to be doing what I'm doing right now, where I'm trying to do things to get famous enough to allow me to be able to do that later in life. You have to be famous enough to work at the university or to set up your own facility to, do arcane studies. But if you had the money right away, I wouldn't have to be trying to make a name for myself. And to get to there in 20, 30, 40 years, I could just do it.
Wow, you have to do that? Like, you have to, like, become famous so that you can then do the stuff you want to do? That's a lot. And, like, 40 years, that's, like, half of your lifetime.
Yeah. To get access to things that you may need, or especially if you're trying to, if you're trying to work at the Arcane University, they're not going to just take anybody. And they're pumping out wizards all the time who want to try to turn around and get jobs there.
Is that like a good job?
Yeah, you get to do whatever you want to do. You have access to their whole, to their library and every library that's connected to them. So you can basically you have tomes of knowledge from eons ago to assist you in your research, and you basically have free reign to pursue whatever you want to do.
But you kind of have free reign to pursue whatever you want to do out here, right? I mean, like...
But I don't have access to anything.
Like, yeah. Okay, that makes sense, I guess. Like, more potion bottles and things like that. And books. Yeah, okay, that makes sense.
And many different kinds of arcane devices that assist you in exploring magic, you know, arcane amplifiers and many different things that you need to not just, you know, right now all I'm doing is trying to find things while doing the magic I already know how to do, but really the point of magic is trying to find out things in magic that nobody knows yet.
There's things that nobody knows about magic? I guess that makes sense.
There's more things people don't know than we do know, and that's never going to change.
Weird.
There's a whole big world up here above the ground.
Yeah. I mean, there's like a lot of stuff. There's like tunnels and stuff like that underground that nobody's ever discovered. So I guess it's kind of the same. I just never really thought about arcane magic that much.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
You channel your magic through Moradin.
Yeah, I mean, Moradin kind of channels his magic through me, if you want to be technical about it. But yeah, I don't actually have any wizards in my family, so I don't really know. Yeah. Yeah, the Gunnisons are not a wizardly kind of folk.
Well, you never know.
Yeah.
Anybody could end up doing something with magic.
Sure.
If you're able to commune with a god and do what you do, you probably could do a lot of other things with magic.
That'd be nice. Yeah, like shooting those like fireballs and things like that you do. Seems pretty cool. Pretty handy.
I mean, it helps, but it also doesn't, you know, like I said, it doesn't get me anywhere. Every wizard can do that.
Really? That's okay. That makes sense. I mean, that's kind of like with healing. Like, you know, you go through the like 18 steps in the vestry, and then once you earn your hammer, you can channel enough divine power to, you know, heal small wounds and things like that. It's not really that exciting, but it's really useful. You know, you can light campfires and things like that.
But, I mean, honestly, what you're able to do, you've been able to save me a lot more times than I've been able to do anything with the magic I can do. It's kind of like go through all these things, all this tribulation in the university, and then you have to try to do more to keep getting ahead in life, and they kick you out in the world, and they didn't actually teach you how to do anything useful.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, I feel like you know, obviously, you know, I trained for, I'm going to say like 25 years. I haven't really counted them up to be a cleric. But yeah, it's kind of like once you become a roving cleric, unless you have like a, you know, a forge that you oversee or something like that, then you can just kind of go do your thing. And then you kind of got to decide what Moradin has for you, which, you know, involves a lot of like praying, meditating and stuff like that. But like, yeah, there's not really a lot of like direct guidance about what you're supposed to do. But I guess it's funny that both you and I were kind of like left to come up with our own devices, and we both ended up here, places that we're not from, wandering around, but kind of for totally different reasons. But kind of doing the same thing.
And now kind of the same reason, really. I mean, we're in the middle of a desert.
Mm-hmm. See, that's the alloy thing. We've been forged into a single unit. See, it's Moradin has crafted us into a stronger unit together to do one thing. See, it's all part of Moradin's plan for us.
I can feel him starting to get hyped up, and I'm like, okay.
Sorry.
Happy alloyversary, Cedric. I'm gonna take a nap.
Oh yeah, that sounds like a good plan. Yeah, I should probably do that too. Yeah.
Nap time.
Anything exciting happening in the girls' tent, or are we just no?
Just chilling, I guess.
I imagine you guys can probably hear what's happening with the boys.
Why is Cedric, it ends up like a slumber party, and he's just in there like, and then, what do you know, and then,
So one thing that I was thinking about in my little existential crisis over here is that, like, you're not, like, I guess you told us, but, like, you're not from, like, Earth, right? I don't really understand how the whole planes things work, but I don't think I'm from Earth either.
I'm, man, out of character. I can explain this very simply. In character, I got nothing. It's six. It's great. I didn't really understand how it worked. But I just could come over here.
But you're like, no offense, but you're like old, right? Like, how old are you?
I'm not sure.
But you were alive when the loss happened, right? So like that's how you got stuck.
Yeah.
But I'm only 17, I think. I mean, I don't really know how old I am.
Yeah, so you can't have come from. You can't have come from, like, you have to have come from here, but maybe like your family, like your parents, and going further back, maybe someone came from somewhere else, maybe.
Oh, I get what you're saying. So it's not like I somehow magically portaled through the things that you shouldn't portal through 17-ish years ago. You think that my family had already portaled through a long time ago and left me for some reason.
Maybe? Yeah, I mean...
I don't know which story is like less depressing.
I mean...
Don't you miss your family and your friends?
I do. But also, I was here with friends.
Well, where'd they go?
Who were from here. Like, I already had friends who were here. So, like, I've been with my friends this whole time. But, yeah, I mean, no one else from back home was here when it closed, so it's just me. And that's, I mean, I've had a long time to get used to it, I guess.
Yeah.
But, like, yeah, I miss them. And I miss home.
I hope we can get you back soon.
That would be amazing. I hadn't even thought that could be possible, really. I mean, if the gods can't get through, then like, why should I think I could?
I mean, I don't even think the gods exist, to be honest. I mean, they haven't ever shown up in my lifetime, not that it's been particularly long.
Well, no, because they're not here right now, but they did. They did exist. They for sure. Like, they were around. They did stuff. This was this
But
was
they
their
couldn't have been all that
place.
powerful if they just like aren't here anymore. What kind of all powerful
Well-
god just like disappears? All of them?
I mean, something more powerful than them closed it off, I guess. I don't know. I don't know. I don't really understand all of it that well, and you know, I just knew that I couldn't do anything about it, so I just did the
Are you
best I
mad
could.
about it? I'd be so mad. Like one day you just get stuck somewhere else that isn't your home and not where you belong. Like, aren't you mad?
Not really mad. Kind of sad, maybe,
Huh.
but like I just had to get used to it and keep going, you know? Because just being sad about it all the time, then I would just be sad all the time, and that's sad.
That
But,
is
like,
sad.
There's a lot of good stuff around here, and my friends back in the forest are really nice, and I mean that's part of why I'm here, because some of them are really, really hurt because like they can't leave. They have to stay there, and the river's their home, and it's hurting them.
Yeah, so all the more reason to get this fixed as soon as possible. I'm sorry for all the hard questions.
Yeah.
I'm just kind of like,
No, it's okay. I don't mind. I guess there are things I've thought about, but it's been a while. Yeah.
my whole existence seems to be not what I thought
It
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 was.
seems like it's complicated in a way you weren't ready for.
That's a very nice
But,
way
like,
of
that's-
putting it.
I mean,
you
it's
really
so-
we have an existential crisis? Don't people usually have existential crises in their like 50s?
I don't know. Honestly, I don't really know what's normal. I wasn't very old when I got stuck here, so I don't.
I'm sorry I called you old. I just like we don't live very long as humans, right? So like 100 is like.
I mean, it's all
ancient.
relative.
Yeah.
Because, like, some people live a long time, and some people only live a little while. But even if you have a long potential lifespan, you could still die earlier. So,
That
I don't
is
know.
true. That only has added to my anxiety.
I mean, you do what you can with what you have.
Well, I appreciate.
Maybe we'll
your
get to learn more about you. Yeah.
I'm not sure I want to learn any more about me. This seems bigger and heavier enough. I just like, I don't know. It's so crazy because I used to like read all these books, right? I'm like good friends with the person who runs the library in East Chester, and I was always reading about these grand adventures, and like people would find out, and I was like, oh my God, I want that. And now that I have it, I don't think I want it anymore. I think I just want to go back and being like the shopkeeper girl.
I mean, it seems like a lot, especially with what you were used to before. But I mean, I've seen you learn to handle things just since I've met you, and you seem to be really good at it. So
That's encouraging.
you don't have to do it all at once. I didn't.
That's also encouraging. I will think about your life advice.
Okay.
Thanks, friend. Maybe it really is the alloy anniversary day or whatever.
Maybe. I haven't been with you this whole time, but that's all right.
Maybe.
I think you're doing great.
Aw, thank you. Thanks for being so cool and also doing great. I don't know how, I mean, I think if I was in your situation, I'd be bitter for a whole lot longer than like 100 years or so. I'd probably make a swamp house and throw stuff at people who got too close.
I have a swamp house.
That sounds amazing. Have you thrown swamp at people who've gotten too close? Can I go to your swamp house? Can we throw things at people together?
Yeah, I can show it to you when we get back.
That'd be amazing. I want to see your swamp house.
There's not a lot to throw, but I do. And like she like reaches in her bag and like pulls out her sling and some river stones, and she's like, "Yeah, I throw rocks at people sometimes.
That sounds so
It's really useful."
You have to teach me.
Kay is the
Oh yeah, super easy.
Kay is the original young woman who wants to grow up to be a witch.
I think I'm gonna like. I see Fletcher write in his notebook a lot, and he seems really calm and collected. I'm gonna try and write some stuff in my notebook and see if that helps me be more calm and collected.
Yeah. Sometimes sort of thinking through things and putting them in order helps. If that makes sense.
I'm glad we met you. You seem to have like all of like more like Fletcher's really knowledgeable but not very personable, and I feel like Cedric is too personable but is like dumb. So I feel like you're a good mix of the two, where you like have the knowledge and are also like very good at talking about it and making other people feel better.
I've spent a lot of time learning how to get around here, and I mean, all of my people are far away. I can't get to them, so I have to get along with other people. So that's kind of my thing.
Well, I appreciate it. I'm gonna go think about everything, I guess.
Yeah. That's fair.
Judd pulls out her journal and starts scribbling.
Oh man, I love Alloyversary.
Wait, so it isn't Nautia's Alloyversary.
Nope.
Oh no, it's not Nautia's Alloyversary.
No.
Not yet.
That's a calendar. It's a
Couple
date
weeks,
on the
did we say?
calendar.
Yeah. To go back and see what day it was when you met her, but yeah.
Whatever. It's a sentiment.
I've got other
it's not a
icebreaker
date.
questions prepared for you, Nautia. Just wait.
Oh boy.
Okay. All right, so you camp through the hot part of the day and have really deep, heartfelt conversations and also snooze. There might be some writing in notebooks and stuff. And then I assume in sort of like the later afternoon, as the heat is burning off, you're getting up and going again? Yeah? Okay. So, like I said, Nautia, you were able to see, you know, when you hopped up a little higher in the air, some sort of irregularity in the terrain. And as you all start making your way again in this sort of later afternoon, the closer you get, the more you can make out. And you realize the irregularity is a broad swath of the desert landscape covered in towers and ridges and arches of layered stone. Even at a bit of a distance, you can hear and feel the wind starting to pick up, and you imagine the features of this area, which you presume to be the stone teeth, may have been shaped by the erosion power of these harsh desert winds. So you spend, more time getting close to them, and eventually, Nautia, you begin to realize that the strength of the wind is starting to make it difficult for you to fly. Like, it is incredibly windy here, Peter.
Yeah. When they said high winds, and given what we had already seen, I was like, yup, she's gonna be grounded.
Yeah. Yeah.
Smart.
Yeah, so that is what you are seeing and experiencing as you come up toward the stone teeth. You eventually reach the base of the first of these stone structures at the edge of this region. It's a tower perhaps 30 feet tall, irregularly shaped and textured by layers of different colored sandstone. The tower stands alone, almost like a forward scout of the teeth, and beyond it you can now clearly see the other rock features, many much taller than this tower. Between the rock features there are small slot canyons and paths of relatively open ground, though there are occasionally boulders or small shrubs in the way. The wind moans through the spaces between the rocks with a haunting, otherworldly sound.
Which other world?
Huh? Which other world? The plane of air. I don't know.
I didn't realize the jaws of death also made noise.
Yeah, maybe they should call it the throat of death.
Yeah, maybe.
Or like the teeth whistle of death, like that noise.
Maybe we should... Maybe we should just go in there, I guess?
Do we see, are there any signs of people here? Like, are there campfire remains or anything like that?
If you're looking in this immediate area, you can give me a search check.
Ooh, I just don't even need to look up my modifier for that. That was I rolled a 3, so I assume it's like a 5 or something.
You don't see anything. You don't know if that's because there isn't anything here, or because you didn't know quite what to look for, or because it's so windy that maybe anything that was here was blown away or covered in sand. It seems like, especially in this area, because of the wind, that the terrain might change quite a bit.
So I'm sort of picturing this like the Antelope Canyon in the Grand Canyon. Is that what it's kind of like twists and turns in narrow passageways, so you can't really see each direction that you might go? Like, is that what it's kind of like?
I'm not familiar with that, but I guess think of like I think it's called the Devil's Garden, where there are lots of stone towers, or also like the stone maze in Up that the bird lives in. But yes, also lots of twisty turny slot canyons. I don't know this Antelope Canyon, but I'm assuming
you've seen pictures of it, I guarantee it.
I mean, okay, probably.
Yeah, it's one of those, like, it's super photographed because it's got these like really cool wind carved
solid
sandstone, gorgeous.
And how
perfect
curves.
How tall are they, the things?
I mean, some of them are like 60, 70, 80 feet high. Yeah.
So you said, there's this forward scouting spire.
Mm-hmm.
And I know you said several of them further in are taller. Does it look like if I climbed this forward scouting spire, would I be able to see any, like, is it significantly shorter than all the others, or like would it be reasonable that maybe I could see something?
There's
if I climbed up there?
a variety of heights, and they're not arranged in any particular fashion. That they're arranged in whatever fashion the hardness, variation of the rock here, right? So yeah, it's not like, oh, they get taller the farther in you go kind of thing. So I mean, you can certainly climb it and try to look, but yeah, it's not like you're for sure going to be shorter or taller than anything around you.
Nadia, I'm assuming you don't want to fly in this wind, right?
Yeah, sort of before we, or maybe even sort of backing up once we get to where the winds have picked up.
Mm-hmm.
Can I try sort of flying to see if I can get up over the formations and see anything at all?
Yeah, you can try. I will note though, even the hawk is has gotten real close to your group and is kind of hovering fairly close to
I'm actually
Fletcher's side,
I would actually
honestly
be watching her flight pattern to see if I can get an idea of what's the wind doing up there.
Yeah, she's definitely gotten a lot way closer to the ground than you would even normally think a bird like this would choose to fly, because it's just yeah, but obviously it's more efficient for her to fly than walk, but yeah, she definitely was having a hard time. Yeah.
But so basically, can I get up and over at all?
You can try.
Or is it Yeah, I'm gonna try that. What am I doing? Fly isn't a thing on here.
No, fly is not a thing, but I think just to try to sort of fight through the wind, you can do a strength check to see.
Strength check? Okay.
Yeah, like how
That
far
works
you're
out
able to
nicely.
force your way through it.
That's only 12.
I mean, you get up maybe like 10, 15 feet, but it's really rough. Like, you are having to fight for every foot of elevation. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, and I guess at that point I'm not high enough to see anything, so
Not really.
yeah, basically you see Nautia try to fly up a bit and then like clearly get buffeted around, come back down, and like this is for the first time you've seen her, like she pulls out the fabric she got from the camp and like fully wraps and then covers the wings. Like even when she was wearing like the netting, like the wings could come out, but she is now fully like ain't happening.
Gotta protect them.
What were you saying, Cedric, about Nautia could just fly over and it'd be so easy?
Yeah, I was wrong.
What did you say?
Oh yeah, super wrong. Yeah, I don't know. That was a bad idea. I don't know. Maybe I spoke too soon. Didn't really think about the whole wind aspect of flying.
Yeah, when they said high winds.
Yeah, there's no wind underground, really. I mean, like most of the time, you get, occasionally you'll get kind of a pressure differential, but nothing like this. It's just harder living above ground.
That's a mood.
Nice constant conditions underground all the time. Nice 58 degrees Fahrenheit. I don't know what system we use for temperature.
I was just gonna say what's a Fahrenheit, but whatever.
I don't know.
Yeah.
The rest of the measurements are in standard.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna try and climb this
Cedric
spire.
trying to climb.
Yeah. Just like I feel like maybe I'll be able to see something from up there. I'm gonna try and climb this thing.
Okay, Cedric is gonna free climb 30 feet in high wind.
Didn't we learn anything from the canyon?
Well, you guys,
Careful.
so like, remember that time in the canyon when Fletcher fell on me? Fletcher, if you'll stand right here, I'm gonna go. just try and catch me. It's okay. I'll leave my mail down here and also my backpack with 2 tents in it, and all of the breakable.
110. Fletcher has the other one.
Okay, and all the breakable potion bottles that I have. Yeah, I'm just and
one of us will stand down here with one of those potion bottles, just waiting.
Yeah, just pour it all over me if I hit the ground.
That's not okay. Like Gatorade at a sporting event.
Yeah, exactly. Just pour the granola into my eyes. Yeah, so I'm taking off all my heavy stuff and climbing.
Okay. Give me a climb check without your armor check penalty.
Okay. Let me see. Just. All right. So that's just basically, I don't have any ranks in it, so it's just my strength modifier, so it's just a +1. The 10.
Oops, that went onto my mouse pad. Wow, that was not the time to roll high on that.
That was not a great face you just made, Sheryl.
Well, I was rolling a D100 to... Well, I was rolling the D10 to figure out, like, what percentage of the way you made it up before you fell, and it landed on the double zeros, which is 100% sorry.
Like, at the top, like,
Yes.
like arms
blown
arms
up.
on the top, like...
Yep.
No!
Honestly, like, as a person who's climbed outdoors, like, I've never free climbed something this tall, but, like, the top is the scariest part, because then, yeah, you're trying to, like, get your legs up and over, and, like, it's not great. So, yeah, Cedric, you make it all the way up to the top of this thing, and you sort of get your elbows over, and then you're like, what do I do now? And as you're trying to figure that out and, you know, adjust how your body is arranged, you come...
Wear these heavy boots!
Tumbling down. Oh, that went all the way over there. You take 8 points of falling damage as, like, your friends watch you tumble down the side of this, you know,
Oh my god, Cedric, are you okay?
rock tower and into the sand.
You can't die on our alloy-versary!
Well, when he's up there and starts to slip and fall, do I have time to react and cast Featherfall?
Sure, yeah. Then you don't take that 8 damage. Look at that. Quick draw wizard.
Friendship.
It's because it's our alloy-versary.
Yeah.
Everybody gets 1. You and Kay have used them.
All right, yeah. So, like, as I fall, like, yeah, I imagine I fall, like, halfway, and then I kind of, like, slowly flail around as I fall, like, and still, like, land on my back, I imagine.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Still, like,
and there's
curl.
still sand that goes, but, like, it's not quite as violent as I had just described pre the fly, or the...
That could have been real bad.
Yeah, maybe let's not climb things in the giant windstorm anymore.
Okay, yep.
I love how you looked at Nautia and was like, wow, she's really struggling. You know what? I bet I could do that better.
Yeah, but I'm, like, really strong and really good at climbing, so I just figured I would be able to do it.
I think she's stronger than you.
Okay, we don't need to discuss who's stronger than who, but maybe we need to think about, like, what the plan is for what we want to do next.
We need to go in and get through this
Yeah.
place.
But, like, we're just gonna, like, wander around in there until we find people? Is that our plan?
Or starve to death.
Well, we could tie all of our ropes together and we could get in 200 feet.
Wouldn't it make more sense to just mark pillars that we've already passed?
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah, you have a hammer.
It's really
We could
smart.
do something with, like, knocking, just, you know, leaving a trail of rocks or something. We can definitely mark the ways that we're going.
Yeah, I have heard of people doing that when they're exploring new caves and things like that. I've never done it before, but
Yeah, people do that all the time when they go to, like, the forests and stuff. There's, like, certain trails to, like, next to the beach to do the stuff, and they're like, oh yeah, we, like, hacked some grass down, or we, like, marked a tree.
yeah, okay. You didn't hammer a piece out of a tree. That makes a lot more sense.
Yeah, like, usually people just bring a knife or, like, a machete or something and just do, like, a couple cuts.
Yeah, that seems
Okay,
good idea.
just use a rock, maybe.
Okay.
This is your specialty, Cedric. You do stuff with the stuff.
Well, I've never been in a canyon carved by the wind before. That seems really, like, weird to me. Like, sure, lava tubes, sure, water carved, you know, eroded limestone canyons, obviously.
Can I just walk to one of the pillars and pull out one of my river rocks and see if I can scrape something identifiable on the side? And does it stay?
Yeah, I mean, it's sandstone, so, like, there are definitely parts of it, like, you know, there are nodules and occlusions and look at that fancy word, you know, parts that are harder, but there is also, it's sandstone, so yes, there are lots of soft-ish spots where you can scrape away grains. Yeah.
Nautia was here.
My least favorite thing.
Are the years numbered here? Like, I was gonna say 2021, but
yes, it is of at least, oh goodness, I have to open the thingy again. Hold on.
Is it like post the loss? Is that how our calendar works?
No. It's more sort of like epochs, as it were. But let me find the calendar again. Okay, so the loss happened, or like it was noticed sometime in the year 885, and it is 972, and New Seychester was established in 952.
That's good.
So yeah, I'm gonna do like a circle or something that wouldn't just look. That doesn't look like anything else around.
Okay. You do that.
All right. Let's go in.
Maybe you should also draw an arrow. So, like, what way we're going? Because, like, we might end up looping back around here, and then if we come out here from, like, the opposite direction and be like, oh, we got really lost.
Yeah. And then I've done, like, a big circle, and, like, this is to mark this is where we started.
Okay. And then you are starting to walk in?
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Okay, so to navigate your way through the stone teeth, we are going to do a modified skills challenge. So for anyone who has not done a skills challenge in any version of a TTRPG before, basically it's kind of the same idea as combat where everybody gets to take a turn to do something, just so that not everybody is screaming at the DM at once what they want to do to help with the situation. But instead of like attacks and things, basically you will each be trying to use spells or skills or abilities in order to help the team. And when you roll high enough on one of those things, it counts as a success. And if you don't meet the DC, it counts as a failure. This skills challenge will have multiple steps to it. So basically, like, as you are navigating through sections of the stone teeth maze. So there will be, right now, starting from the beginning, 5 steps in order to get from one side of the stone teeth to the other. Each step requires 5 successes before 2 failures. So if you get 2 failures before you get 5 successes, that is a failure on that step, and I will use my d10s to roll on a table to see what happens to you. But if you get 5 successes before you get 2 failures, then you have passed that step and you move on to the next step, and that means that you've made progress through the maze, if that makes sense.
Amazing.
Huh? Amazing.
Amazing.
Okay, so basically you'll roll initiative, and then people will use skills or abilities or spells or whatever in the order of initiative. Each person can choose what skill or ability they use and describe how they're using it to help the party, but you cannot use the same skill or ability that you used on your previous turn, and you cannot use any skill or ability that was used by the 2 people preceding you. Just so that we're not all doing the same thing over and over again and it's boring. So like if, Cedric uses survival and Fletcher uses perception, Kay cannot use survival or perception when it gets to her turn, if that makes sense. Yeah. Questions about how the skills challenge works? Peter, that is a face.
Sorry.
It's okay.
Smack the hell out of my desk.
Oh. Yeah, questions about how this works?
Nope. Sounds good to me.
Okay, awesome. So in that case, roll some initiative. All right,
Who's quite looking to check my modifier and was like, no, it's definitely always been 0.
All right, who thinks they have the highest score? Yeah?
18.
18. Anybody beat that? Nope. Okay. Cedric first. After that, anybody between 18 and 15? No? 15 to 10?
14.
14 for Fletcher. Wow. 10 to 5?
9.
Oh my goodness.
7.
All right, so the order will be Cedric, Fletcher, Kay, Nautia. So Cedric, you are up first as you all start walking in. These rounds are not 6 seconds worth, because obviously it's going to take a lot longer than that to get through the stone teeth. So this is like, for the next whatever amount of time, this is what you are doing to help the party.
So, especially coming up with that, Cedric, you should know this stone stuff. I want to do a search check with the stone, like looking at if I can figure out basically like which way the wind is coming from to see if that's kind of like, if there's I assume the wind is coming like kind of towards us through the slot canyon.
I mean, it's kind of all over, like, you know, it there doesn't seem to necessarily be like a specific direction, if that's what you're asking. Yeah.
I guess I want to look at the way that the stone is worn to figure out if that kind of like gives any kind of indication of like where like a primary path might be. Like if the wind is predominantly coming from this direction, maybe there's a wider canyon over that way because it's more worn there or something like that.
Okay, yeah, because search is what your stone cunning uses, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay, go for it.
Oh, fuck.
Oh?
Yeah, with my +3, that's a 6.
Okay, so that would be a failure. You're looking at this stone, but because it's sandstone, which is not really a rock you're familiar with, and also because it's not worked, it's just eroded, you're not really able to tell a whole lot about... Yeah. The direction.
It's just a bunch of sand that's like stuck together.
Pretty much, yeah.
Real stone.
All right, Fletcher. What would you like to do?
Have we gotten an overview of the scene of like when we stepped into this, like what are we standing at? Like what's
So there are these pillars, there are arches, there are, larger areas of stone with like slot canyons through them. Lots of different kinds of rock shapes.
So does it look like there's just like an open path to walk through a bunch of different rock formations, or is it like there's like one set path that's like twisty?
It's like a kind of like a plinko board, I guess. Like, it's a maze in that like there are lots of different paths, and sometimes it looks very open and there's just like a big area and you're walking between towers, but then there'll be 3 different slot canyons kind of thing. So it's like, yeah, it's
Okay.
not that there is like a single path maze. It's not like a hedge maze. Yeah.
Or a maze.
So where we're standing right now, how many different ways, like exits from where we are, does it look like there are?
Great question. Let's find out.
Trail rolls 100. There are 100.
There are 5 different directions you could choose from.
Oh my god. Oh gosh, I have no idea.
I don't have skills.
What? You're the rogue. You have all of the skills.
Yeah, that bluff check is really gonna come in super handy.
You
right
get
now.
more skill points than anybody else in the party does to spend
This
on your
cipher
skills.
script's gonna be so useful. I'm gonna talk to the rock with my diplomacy.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, I think I get 2 skill ranks per level. That's it.
Because you have no intelligence
That's
bonus.
it?
Yeah. Yeah.
And all of it is going into the ones that are
Yeah.
Oh gosh. Well, we have like no, we don't really have any sense of like what direction do we need to go in to get through this, right? Like it's not just like continue to try to move west. We really have no idea, right?
Well, so you don't know where the person that the scouts saw, like, you don't know where they navigated to, but
Yeah.
you could assume that they did not stay in the Stone Teeth because it sucks in here, right? So you know that, like, they're outside of it somewhere, and the scouts were able to tell you that, like, based on the point where they saw this figure entering, they assumed that they were going sort of like straight through, because it is a little narrower east to west than it is north south.
Okay. So this is like a set thing that you can move, that you would need to move through to get to the area of the world, like beyond this geographic feature.
Yes, there is more desert on the other side.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have no idea what to do. I'm like,
Just do something.
it's like I'll walk down the left-hand most path and see like where does that go up to?
You can, so to reiterate, you can do like an ability check, so like a strength check or whatever. You can use any of your skills, or you can use any of your spells.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, but I mean, there's like nothing here for me to do anything on. Like, can I like delay my turn and let Kay go?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Yeah, you want to just like switch your turn in the initiative order to be somewhere else?
Yeah.
Okay. Would you rather go between Kay and Nautia or after Nautia?
Let's say after Nautia.
Okay. No worries. All right. So Kay, you cannot do a search check because Cedric just did one.
Could I do like a gather information check or an escape artist check?
Gather information is more like talking to people in a tavern or a crowd to find out gossip or rumors or stuff. Escape artist is more like if you like think Houdini, right? So like if you were like tied up or manacled or something like that. Or like
stuck in a labyrinth where you can't get out of. I feel like that you would have to escape and be artist-y to get out of it.
If you want to try something that sounds like a real stretch, you can, but the DC will be much higher.
Well. Can I do a perception?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
What are you trying to perceive?
I don't know. You would think like other people may have been here before, so like I don't know if there's like footprints or marks on the rocks or
if you're looking for that kind of stuff, it would probably be survival. But yeah, I mean, like if you want to just sort of like survey the area, you can do perception.
I will just survey the area. Where is perception on our...
It's at the bottom because we added it because doing listen and spot separately is stupid.
All right. All right. Well, we're going to try and perceive stuff.
Woohoo!
Well, I rolled a 1, so we did not perceive anything.
Okay.
I got an 8 technically because I have 7 perception.
We are on a roll.
We failed twice now. What happens?
Yep. So now I roll on my table. And it is an 8. Okay. So, Kay, as you are perceiving, you see what you think is like, oh, seems like a clear path. And you sort of start going in that direction and then, like, bump into a wall and basically realize that you have made pretty much no progress so far and that was a mirage that had led you astray. And so you do not move forward in your progress at all.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
So are we still technically in step 1, or does that go ahead and move us on to step 2?
You are still...
The entrance is right there.
Technically, it's step 1.
Yeah, I was just like, wait a minute, we failed already.
It is right there.
I will do that survival check that you just described earlier.
Sure. You're looking for footprints, markings, whatever.
19!
Yeah, you don't see people footprints, but you do start to notice, like, as one might expect, there are animals that live in here. Because even though it's really windy up above, it's not quite as windy in amongst the rocks. Like, they're still being eroded, but there are lots of cracks and crevices where you think creatures could live. And so you see little animal paths, and you start to follow those and feel like you're making some progress. Yeah. All right, Fletcher, how are you feeling?
I'm still like, I think I'm having trouble like wrapping my mind around doing this. Like having like knowing so little or just like it's rocks and sand. And I'm like, what do I do? Like,
no, that's totally fair.
Lick the rock.
The only thing
you have knowledge nature?
Yeah, I've been thinking of a lot of things, but I'm like, oh, I could do that. But then it's like, what are you trying to figure out? And I'm like, I don't know. It's just like, how does that help us advance forward? So I'm trying to like,
I mean,
get through a lot of
knowledge
things.
nature is definitely a thing you could think about because, navigating by the sun or thinking about, again, like some people have been trying to figure out like animal tracks or where the wind is coming from. Like knowledge nature is definitely something you could try if that's what you'd like to do. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's the one I thought of, especially because of what Nautia found out and seeing those things. Like, is there anything more we can intuit about, like, what are these animals? And, like, clearly, like, if they're making their way through here, animals usually know how to get to, like, the between the two exits, like, to pass between things. Like, if there's anything more that we could figure out about those animals.
Yeah, totally.
Oh my god, I got a 1. So that's a 7.
Oh man. Okay. So that's another failure. Wow.
This is the canyon.
The canyon
all over again.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's just fight a bunch of giant insects again.
Yeah.
At least then only one of us almost died.
5 successes before 2 failures.
It's doable.
But can we do it? That's the question.
Yeah, doable by a different party.
Yeah.
Okay, so that would bring you back up to the top of the initiative, but it is almost time for us to be done for the night. So should we just pause it there and we can pick back up with the skills challenge next time?
I have to go.
She has to go. Okay. So Cedric, what did you use the first time you used search?
Search.
And Kay used... No, sorry.
Perception.
Nautia used survival.
Cedric was search, K perception, Nautia survival, Fletcher knowledge nature.
And
we suck is the conclusion.
And only one of those did not fail.
You have a success. Okay, so Cedric will be starting next time, and you will not be able to use search, survival, or knowledge nature. But this is a great place to end because you guys have sort of gotten a feel for what the skills challenge is like, so you can think more about what your characters might try next time.
I've already got an idea, and I will be rolling with advantage thanks to Qui-Gon Bowers.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Awesome. All right. So thank you all so much for hanging out with us. I'm not sure if we actually have finalized our schedule for the next few months yet, but you can check in the panels below Twitch when we do figure that out. You can follow us on Twitter to figure that out. You can follow all of these lovely people on their personal Twitters as well.
We're cool, I promise.
Yeah, definitely.
Sometimes I even post.
Oh, and also, other socials like Cindy and Peter and are both very, well, I guess, yeah, all of these people are very active on Instagram as well. So, go follow them, do the thing. Yeah, if you want to catch up on what's been happening in the story, or you just entered today and are like, why is Kay having a existential crisis? Our podcast is available on all podcast places, and also we have the video recordings of these streams on our YouTube channel, so you can check those out as well. If you want to hang out with us and ask us science questions and just, chat, there's a link to our Discord down below. I think that's everything for right now. Anybody else? No? All right. Well, then we hope you all have a wonderful evening, and we will see you at some point in May, probably, when we stream again. Thank you so much, everyone. Have a good night.
Bye.
Bye.